All right, everybody. That on air symbol means that we are on air and ready to go. Another episode of the MURF and EDUBBS Sports Show. 9 o'clock must be live at MURF and EDUBBS. Waiting for my partner to get on here now. EDUBBS looks like you just signed on, my friend. How you doing?
I am here, Murph, episode 14, ready to go.
Wow, episode 14. Wow, 13 last week, 14. It's going to keep going. Before you know, we're going to be all veterans at this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we'll have to get the champagne when we hit 100, right, Rich?
Yeah, I know exactly. We had more than champagne when he had 100. So listen, when we last spoke, you had a problem with Halloween, I guess. Holidays you have a problem with. How did your Halloween go? I'm sure everybody out there is on the edge of their seats and want to know how your Halloween went.
Okay, so before I do that, Rich, I just want to. I put a teaser on Facebook this week. I said if the Astros win one game in Philadelphia, something will happen that's never happened before. And a couple of people guessed, and they were all wrong. So, can you guess what's going to happen, Rich, tomorrow that never happened before?
I'm gonna have to say that it's the longest the longest baseball season, the longest World Series game into November.
Okay, you're right on track, but it's Ben's birthday tomorrow. My son turns 19, and it will be the first time in his life he ever saw a live baseball game on his birthday.
Get out of here! Really?
Yeah, look at that, right? The Yankees beat the Philadelphia Phillies 13 years ago tonight,
All
and that was
right.
the latest game. And tomorrow will be November 5th, and November 5th will be the latest. And if the Phillies win tomorrow, which I'm thinking they are, it will go to Game Seven
No
on
way,
Sunday.
dude.
So that will be November 6th. Might be the latest day. So you know what, Rich, we
Listen,
might be heading for Thanksgiving baseball one of these years.
listen, that bullshit you were talking the other day about that no hitter. It's not a no hitter. We'll get into that, but I think that night awakened a sleeping giant, man. You can't get that Lance Bregman out. I mean, the Astros are hitting now. I don't know. I'm not gonna put a hex on them or anything, but I do want to see the Phillies lose. But I don't think they're gonna keep up with the hitting of the Astros, man. But we'll talk about that in a little while.
Yeah, so let's talk about Halloween, Rich. I was home on
Yes.
Monday, working at home. It was one of the first days I remember working at home on Halloween because I remember during the pandemic that one year there wasn't a Halloween. I don't think. I don't remember, or maybe it was on a Saturday.
They moved the date or something. They moved the date or something. I think it
Yeah,
was
yeah,
because
yeah.
it was because of Sandy. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm sitting at home and I'm thinking, like, what time did the trick or treaters start coming around? I was like, okay, whatever, nothing coming around. I made a nice dinner for everybody. 6 o'clock, the doorbell starts ringing, and it wasn't that bad, Rich. I don't know if my outburst on the episode 13 about Halloween scared the kids away from my house or something like that. But there was only about 47 kids. Four looked like they voted in the 1972 election. Three looked like they were
That's
old
all
enough to
right though.
be. What's that? What's that?
But that's all right though. Like I said to you last time, listen,
Well,
if you're a
Rich,
kid at
they
heart,
would have
come to
been
my
they,
house. I'll give you some candy.
they would have been 18 in 1972. So it's like three looked old enough to be my grandfather. Rich. Okay, five were smoking something that smelled like a skunk. Four had
Okay.
bullets down to their shoulders, and a couple had peanut allergies. But I'm not going to ask kids who has allergies or something because I just cater to
Now
everyone.
listen. You just hit the nail on the head. If there were a bunch of 18-year-old kids with masks on, I'm sitting down the street. I guess as you were saying, smoking. I guess, or as you're soaking some green stuff, and we know that ignites the munchies. You're gonna tell me that at 18, 19 years old, it's like, yo, man, we can get away with it. Let's go on a mask and do some trick or treating, some chocolate, a little high, go home, go to sleep. That sounds like a good night for an 18-year-old kid. So listen, message out there. If you're 18, 19 years old and you're walking through my neighborhood, stop by. I'll give you a piece of candy on Halloween. This guy doesn't know what he's talking about. He wants. I think I saw you in trick or treating in my neighborhood. And you don't look like you're old enough or young enough to be a trick or treater. I saw that orange mask floating around my neighborhood on Halloween night. That might have been
Yeah,
you.
that was the best promo ever, Rich. Right? A lot of people spoke to me at that promo. They were wondering if it was me or not.
That sounded like an anti-smoking commercial. That's what it sounded like.
I sounded like that guy. Things will never be the same again. Remember him?
Yes, yeah, I do. I do. Now my neighborhood, Halloween was, it's been falling off through the years around here. Like less and less kids are coming on. I guess maybe just the kids just got older. I mean,
Yeah.
mine are 17 and 15. But I remember, listen, I remember 10 years ago in my
Yep.
neighborhood, and it's kind of like a different Halloween up here, because I grew up in Queens with the apartment buildings, the city atmosphere. But up here, my neighborhood used to be, everybody got involved. People would dress up in the driveways, and everybody would have candy, and I don't know, like even as somebody down the street, he used to have, he used to give out beers and chicken sandwiches
Oh
to the
wow.
parents walking around. And Halloween was fun, I guess, because there was a lot of kids. But now I look out the window and all the kids that were younger, I guess obviously they've grown up a little bit, and there's not as many. But I did notice a couple of new families moving into my neighborhood. I noticed they came trick or treating, and some new families are moving in. So maybe they're I don't know, maybe Halloween to get a little more upbeat. But I had maybe about 15 people come by my house. It really wasn't that crazy.
Oh wow. You know what they do, Rich? Now they do this snowflake thing. They do those trunk or treats where they all gather in a parking lot and everyone opens the trunk of their cars. It's not fun anymore. Why do they do that?
Now look, I've been to a trunk or treat, I guess, long time. Have you ever done that?
No, I'm not a snowflake. Why would I do that?
No, that's somebody's like, why I now they came up with that a long time ago. Now, the whole premise between Halloween is going at people's houses, and trick or
Yes.
treating and getting candy from door to door. Like, I guess what does it just take like the fun out? I mean, I guess if you're little kids, because when my kids did it, they were in kindergarten and preschool and stuff. I guess when you're little, I guess it's kind of fun because you don't want the kids running around in the streets. But Halloween is Halloween, man. It's time to do a little mischief and run around the neighborhood and get some candy and I don't know, trunk or treat, maybe for little kids, but once they get out of that kindergarten slash first grade realm, I think you have to start, taking to the streets, as they say.
I think the trunk or treat is to avoid 60-year-old porno guy or something like that. That might be it. Like I mentioned on the last show, the guy that gives out the loose candy and the little baggie and stuff like that.
Yeah. All right. All right. So look, Halloween wasn't that bad then, right? So, it wasn't that bad. You didn't get any, nobody spray painted your house or shaving cream or egg. You came out of it pretty good, I guess, huh?
Well, kind of. At 8 o'clock, I got a text from the CFO of my company. I need you in the office on Tuesday. So I was kind of like hoping to work at home on Tuesday, the Monday and Tuesday at home, but I had to go to work on Tuesday. So you know what? The World Series got rained out on Tuesday. There was a crappy Monday Night Football game, and, I figured whatever. So I survived, Rich. On to November, on to the
Okay.
next holidays.
Now that's the thing. Like here we go. We're coming into November now. Now obviously we know what the next holiday is coming up. Now, if I know you, there's got to be something wrong with Thanksgiving with you because you had a problem with Halloween. You got a problem with a lot of stuff that's weird. Like I said to everybody last week. But Thanksgiving is coming up now. Now Thanksgiving, you can't have a problem with Thanksgiving because first of all, I know you love to eat, and second of all, I know you love football. So what say you about Thanksgiving? What do we got? Do you like it or hate it?
Well, before Thanksgiving, I want to talk about holiday etiquette, which I have to give a. I'll do it. We'll do part of the show in a couple of weeks on holiday etiquette because you're
Perfect.
on holidays, Rich, and there's stuff that goes around and stuff like that. And EDubs is like the silent guy in the corner. Like I don't talk that much, but I notice everything that goes on and stuff at Halloween gatherings, parties, family, friends, and stuff. So we're gonna have a little thing on holiday etiquette coming up. But you know what though? Believe it or not, I'm gonna shock everyone listening right now. I love Thanksgiving.
Good.
Yeah,
All
yeah,
right. So
and
what's the best? So you love Thanksgiving. So
a lot of
what's the
memories
best part
about
about Thanksgiving to you?
yeah, a lot of memories about Thanksgiving, Rich. My dad was a salesman. My dad was like the mayor walking around Times Square. Everyone knew him. So what we used to do is I was living in Queens at the time. My mom would be making the turkey and stuff like that. My dad would take my brother and I to the city, and my dad knew this guy right on 42nd Street, right in the heart of Times Square. There used to be a Burger King. All the arcades were there. The guy owned an arcade, so we would go watch the
Wow.
parade. Then we'd head over to the arcade. I remember the guy would come up to the machine and start pushing credits for us and stuff for my brother and I. And you know what, Rich?
Mm.
I was walking around like my shit didn't stink because I had like 50 credits on some of these games and stuff like that. And people are like, who the hell's this kid playing the games, and stuff. So I felt like $1 million, Rich, on Thanksgiving, And you get older and stuff like that. We used to go to my grandparents. My grandparents used to live on Long Beach Island, so we'd go there for Thanksgiving. I remember taking the
Nice.
turkey carcass up to the beach after we ate and stuff, and tons of seagulls just came down and attacked that carcass. Of course, you get shit on a couple of times, but you know what though? It was just funny watching the seagulls attack and stuff like that. And then you get older, you get married. My in-laws live in the next town over in Beacon, so it's like a 5-minute drive over, and it's really nice. This would be the first Thanksgiving without my dad, so my mom's gonna come up this year and join us and stuff like that. So it's gonna be a nice Thanksgiving. So I kind of enjoyed
Yeah.
Thanksgiving. I enjoy the football. I enjoy the time off. Yeah,
Yeah.
I kind of like Thanksgiving, Rich, and I know I'm shocking everybody that there is something that E Dubs
Yeah.
likes.
Thanks Thanksgiving, Thanksgiving to me was always when I was a kid growing up in Queens, Thanksgiving would always mean that we were going upstate, and when I mean upstate, I meant, Putnam County. You know,
Mhm.
we would
Oh
always go
wow.
to pardon me, we would always go up to, Putnam Lake where my Aunt Lucy, lived. As a matter
Sure.
of fact, cousin Joe that's cousin Joe's, grandmother. So,
Oh wow.
and my grandmother's sister, and we all used to go up to Aunt Lucy's house for, Thanksgiving. And, that was kinda like it was weird because I remember coming up from Queens. I remember, I just remember, like, driving up, and then we'd probably sometimes we'd come home that night, and then we would come home that night, it would be pitch black. There'd be no street lights, there'd be no nothing, like, on any of the
Wow.
highways. And, like, holy shit, like, we really felt like we were in the sticks, but it was nice, though, we got to see some of the cousins we don't get, to see through the years, and Thanksgiving was always fun. I mean, you always got to see, like I said, you got to see people that you haven't seen that often, you get to eat some good food, when you're young, you're into football, but all the uncles are watching the football games. You run around with your cousins. Gradually, as you get older, then you get into the football yourself. And I then eventually, after the years and years of going up to Putnam County for Thanksgiving, my parents had moved up to Putnam County themselves, and they
Okay.
live in Putt Lake now.
Hmm.
So usually, what Thanksgiving means is going to my sister's house or my mother's house, and spending time with the family, just being thankful.
Nice, nice. Yeah, that's what it's all about, Rich. You're supposed to enjoy it and
Yeah.
stuff like that, and
I also
don't eat the
Yeah,
dip.
let me just yeah, yeah, the dip. Yeah, I know how much you like dip. But I do want to say one thing about this Thanksgiving coming up. I sent out a text to a lot of families that we know from the area, and I know me and you have spoken about it. Like, I don't know if you guys are going away, for your for Thanksgiving, or if you're going to be around. Like, yeah, people that are listening now are our close friends, and you're going to hear the podcast, and we're going to have some kind of, like, I guess, sounds cheesy. We're gonna have like a little turkey ball, father son turkey ball game. We're gonna have it over at Gearing, and me and EDUBBS are going to be part of it. And a couple of you guys have definitely reached out to me and said that you guys are going to come. So, it's a couple fathers and sons playing some football. The moms and sisters and families want to come down. It's kind of like how we talk about our little Fishkill community and our basketball community, and how and how we used to have so much fun and everything. And it's maybe just kind of like a little. A little get together, to maybe see people we haven't seen in a while, and that's gonna be 9 a.m. I'm gonna go over there to Gearing, and I know some people, like I said, have already said yes, they're going to be there. So listen, it's an open invite. Anybody wants to come down, we're going to be at Gearing playing some football at 9 a.m. at Thanksgiving morning. We'll be there for an hour or two, and then we'll go home and spend the time with our family. Righty, you're going to be there, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna be there. Yeah, I'm not gonna play Rich. That knee injury a couple of years ago, kind of like threw a wrench in me and stuff like that. So, kind of just on the sidelines now, Rich. But it's all about seeing people you haven't seen in years and stuff. We kind of like been locked up the past couple of years. It's nice to see people out and about now with without that piece of cloth on their face. So it's really good that we're headed back to where we used to be, Rich. Trying to at least.
Exactly, exactly. So that's a little bit of Thanksgiving. Listen, before we get into all this show stuff and stuff, I wanna give my buddy Doug a shout out. Now, my buddy Doug is in a band called Noise in the Basement. Now, I like to think I'm one of his number one fans. I like listening to him. He's a cover band. They do a really, really good job. He's the drummer, and like, me and my wife, we always like to go up there and see him. But he's doing a benefit on Saturday, December 10th. This Saturday, December 10th, at a place called Revel 32. It's on 32 Cannon Street in Poughkeepsie. He's going to be live band cover. He's a rock cover band. He does a great job. Tickets at $20. Now, $20 ticket. What that gets is all the money at the door. The $20 that you give the person at the door, every single dollar goes to the Maria Ferrari Hospital down in Westchester. So all the proceeds go to the Sparrow's Nest and the Maria Farah Children's Hospital eighth annual toy drive down there. So my boy Doug is going. You guys want to come up there and have a couple of drinks up at Revel on December 10th? It's from 5:30 to 10. You're gonna listen to some really good music. They put on a great show. My buddy Doug rocks out on the drums, and the rest of the guys. It's a good, it's a good time. You get to meet some good people and have a couple of drinks and throw $20 in for a good cause. So that's Saturday, December 10th from 5:30 to 10 p.m. at Revel on 32 Cannon Street in Poughkeepsie. It's Noise in the Basement. All right, Doug.
Well,
There you
that's
go,
great.
buddy. Maybe I'll get some people up there for you.
That's great. I never met Doug before, but hope I can meet him one day. But maybe Rich, if you're friendly with him, maybe he could do a jingle for our show. Sometimes those jingles, like Mike and the Mad Dog or WFAN, whatever. Those are pretty good jingles and stuff like that. So maybe
I like
maybe
it.
we can get a jingle going for our show one of these days, huh?
Yeah. Listen, man, I got a couple of friends out there that play different instruments. You know, maybe I get a couple of them together and see we'll get a nice MURF and EDUBBS Dubs jingle going. I would like that. I would like that very much.
Yeah.
Very much so.
It's the MURF and EDUBBS show. It's the MURF and EDUBBS show. Yeah, I can't sing.
All
I
right.
think we just lost a couple
Now,
listeners.
yeah, exactly. So people, yeah, to stick to the talking, Ian, not the singing.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so listen, we got something here. This is a sports show, and we are going to go right into it. We would absolutely be remiss if we did not talk about this lunatic,
It's been a
Kyrie
quiet
Irving.
week, right, Rich? Very quiet week on the sports front, right?
Quiet week. It's quiet week to say the least.
Oh
To
my
say the
goodness.
least, dude.
Goodness
Now,
gracious.
we went from last week. We went from this Kanye West. Now, Kanye West has since, I guess he's, I don't know if he's apologized or if he's, I don't know what's going on with him, or maybe he just knows he screwed up, whatever. But then, a week later, now you got Kyrie Irving spouting out the mouth again. Now, this time, though, he's not just spouting out the mouth. He's kind of talking shit, and he's getting himself in a little bit of trouble. But the trouble he's getting himself in, is, I think, a little bit, maybe a couple of days too late. I know a couple of
Mhm.
people are saying that, you had to wait for it to get out. You had to wait for it to get out. But he said some pretty serious shit. Am I right or wrong?
No, you're definitely right, Rich. And news keeps breaking. 7 minutes before we came on the air, Nike just said bye bye, Kyrie Irving. So, cha-ching, he just lost a couple of $1 million more and stuff like that. But Rich, there's no. You're in the public eye. You're playing basketball. You're playing. Same thing with movie actors, actresses, politicians. You got to stay off social media. You got to do it. I mean, Charles Barkley says he's not on social media. Gee, there's got to be a reason why he's not on social media. What this buffoon did on the Nets, sending a link to a move. Now you know more about. I didn't say you saw, you know more about the movie. You read more about it, Rich, than I
Well,
did. It's something
I
about
had
something about
I had to
yeah.
look into this. Just
Okay.
I had to look into this just because the fact that listen, he said, he's tweeting a movie. Okay, now you know well as I do that, like, if we see something, it's like, oh, we see something on like a story that we like, or if we see something, or we want to promote something, or if we want to say, hey, this guy said something pretty cool, or listen, we know full well that we're gonna at least do a little bit of a, and I know there's a lot of people out there. They're all a lot of headline readers out there, because I mean, a lot of people that speak from their political minds. I think a lot of you guys are headline readers, because nobody really gets into, the meat and potatoes of what's really going on. Now, Kyrie Irving just went in there and says, "All right, look, hey, maybe I like the title of this, so let's put it out there," without
Mhm.
looking into what this movie was all about. I
Right.
mean, so he's trying. I mean, he's trying to backpedal on that. I guess he's saying he didn't realize that basically in the movie that it's basically saying that it's the Black Hebrew Israelites saying that Black people are the only true descendants of the ancient Israelites. Okay, that's the one thing he said. It's
Mhm.
also the guy that wrote the book. His name is escaping me right now, but he believes in that. He believes that the Holocaust pretty much never existed. Now he calls it one of the five falsehoods. Now this is what this movie is kind of like based around. It's kind of based on the fact that the Holocaust never existed,
Right.
and and the Black Jews are the true descendants of Israelites. Now, you being a Jewish man, Eric, I mean, I'm not saying, we talk about it all the time that people shouldn't be canceled and stuff like that, but there are I think that the only reason I think that something should be done, because I've been throwing a word out around here in the last week, that I think it's people that are woke for a certain thing. I hate that word, but to you people who think that you're woke out there, it's selective wokeness, I think.
Hmm.
And it's probably not a word, it's probably not a phrase, but I'm making this phrase up right now. Selective wokeness being like, where are all these basketball players that are up in arms with all these other things that were going on? With I don't know, with whether it be a homosexual slur or a transgender slur or a Black Lives Matter incident or
Could I
or
could I
something
jump
like
right
that.
in, Rich? Could I jump in?
Sure, go ahead.
Okay, so the Nets are playing in Washington tonight, and the Washington Wizards have the only Jewish player in the NBA, Danny Avdija. He's from Israel. He was drafted last year. So there's one Jewish player in the NBA, but you would think his teammates would have said something to him to support him and stuff like that during this time and stuff like that. The NBA players have been very quiet, and it's very odd because there was a homophobic slur by one of the players. I don't know, Minnesota, whatever. I forget who it was, but that was taken care of. That was squashed right immediately, Rich. It didn't last days. It was squashed immediately. Miles Leonard on the Heat, he went on one of these video game things and he made a Jewish slur, and that was taken care of. He was banned from the Miami Heat practice facility and team for like a week or two. So that was taken. But this is like there's like utterly silence on this, Rich. We're going on like what 10 days already on this.
And that's the thing that most bothers me, Eric. The thing that most bothers me is not the fact that the person said it. Like again, we go on and on and on and on. But now he's not even owning up to the fact that he knew what he was tweeting. Now, again, it's not there's no room for anti-Semitism. There's no room for racism. There's no room for any of this stuff. But when somebody like LeBron James is all over these good causes, and the only reason why I'm calling out LeBron James, and a lot of people out there know that I can't stand the guy. But you know what though? You're LeBron James. You want to be the face of the NBA. You want to attack people on all ends, like with the Adam Silver, with the guy with the 76ers, and who's the other guy that screwed up back then with the touching, the owner of the Phoenix Suns there.
Oh
Like
yeah,
guys like then you have players like condemning owners. Now listen, I'm not saying that what those guys did was right in any way, shape, or form, and I'm not saying what these guys are saying are right either. But you gotta come out if you're gonna be that guy that's gonna say and be the defender of people because you have a platform. Have that platform for everybody. Okay, you can't just be on top of your soapbox for one thing and then turn your back on another thing because those same people that were looking at you on your soapbox talking about the other thing are looking for you at this time too. And you were silent. Kevin Durant, you basically told guys, why just let us go back to work? Leave us alone. Why are
yep.
you making a big deal about this? Why are the players not standing up for this?
It's
Because
kind of odd.
it is odd. It is odd, and I don't know what Reggie Miller basically said. He said, "What's right is right." When owners say shit to attack players, and other players say things like "There's nothing." I mean, it's Shaq and Charles Barkley and Reggie Miller. All these guys, these guys are all ex-players saying there's no room for any of this shit,
Yep.
but everybody's silent on this. And look, now I understand that I understand now he's suspended, right, without pay, right?
Yes, for 5 games. And, he's got a history of this, though, Rich, saying the world was flat. The dinosaur thing where they said, oh, you find the bone on a dinosaur, all of a sudden you could see what a dinosaur looked like. He talked about that.
Yeah.
JFK was assassinated because it ended the bank cartel. The CIA was going to kill Bob Marley. His whole thing on the vaccinations last year, the COVID vaccines. He gives into this Alex Jones guy. I mean, this Alex
I was just
Jones
gonna say
guy.
that Alex Jones.
Oh my
Yeah,
God! Whoever follows this guy, I mean,
dude.
you're pieces of
Listen,
shit. I mean, this guy
listen, he's
went.
crazy.
Yeah, he went against the Sandy Hook parents, saying it was an act, basically. I mean,
Yeah,
jeez, this and the whole New World Order thing, where people are put in places to spread germs and illnesses
yeah.
to kill the. Yeah, it doesn't make sense, Rich. All these conspiracy theories, and that's what. I mean, I'm not saying, hey, anybody can believe in conspiracy theories, but you know what though, Kyrie Irving, it's just too much in interviews and stuff. And in the 2021 interview, Rich, he did say that he was doing Ramadan and stuff, and he says he follows and respects all religions. So obviously that was a lie.
Well, then you know what though? Then maybe he's just dumb. Maybe he's just dumb. That's the only thing I could come up with. Because the fact of the matter is, like he says something, and there's like, well, I didn't know what I was. Maybe he's just a dummy. Maybe he just like said, like the Earth is flat. Like, listen, everybody out there, the world is not fucking flat. All right, but this guy came out and said, everybody, the world is flat. Then he got attacked for it. Then he backpedaled on it. Like you said, like all these other things he's talking about.
Mhm.
Like, what? I mean, the guy's a very, very talented basketball player. Now that being said, being he's a very talented basketball player, do you think that now we're talking now if anybody doesn't know, we're talking about your favorite basketball team here.
Of
I mean, I don't know if
course.
we failed. No, we failed to say that, but how do you feel as a Knicks fan of your owner? He's a coward. I
Yeah.
think the owner is a coward.
Yep. No balls, Rich. No balls whatsoever. I mean, first of all, I think Adam Silver should have done something. Adam Silver's Jewish, you know that. So Adam Silver should have
Why
come right
not?
out and done something. So not Adam Silver doing it. So it puts the pressure on the Nets owner. I mean, geez. I mean, something should have been done by the league. Is it a union issue, Rich? Is it a players association? What is going on? It's crazy.
Well, let's see. The Association came out and said something. I took a picture of it earlier. Let me see what the I have it here somewhere. It says anti-Semitism is. Oh, here we go. It says here the anti-Semitism has no place in our society. The NBA Players Association is focused on creating an environment where everyone is accepted. We are committed to helping players fully understand that certain words can lead to hateful ideologies being spread. We will continue to work on identifying and combating all hate speech wherever it arises. Now, herein lies what I have a problem with stuff like that. Okay. Now, everybody that says stuff, you said it. So there was whether it was a moment of unclarity or there was a moment of, but fact of the matter is, whatever people are saying and they're backpedaling on and apologizing for today in society, I know people say they want their apology, but they say, but when somebody apologizes for something that you truly feel that they really meant, do you really want that apology? Like, do you really think that once they hit Kyrie Irving's pocket, that's the only reason why he came? And not to mention the fact, though, kudos to the Anti-Defamation League, because the other day everybody's talking about, all right, $500,000 from Kyrie and $500,000 from the Nets. I was like, oh, that's great. Now it's going to go away. You know what, though? And then Anti-Defamation League is, well, wait a second. What going to do here? $1 million. So what's $1 million going to do? $1 million is going to put people in a classroom and say, well, you shouldn't be anti-Semitic. You shouldn't be racist. You shouldn't be this, shouldn't be that. Doesn't matter. Most of these people, when they get to a certain age, they say these things because they truly feel that way. And they
Mm-hmm.
only backpedal on it because it's going to hit their pocket. So the fact that, yes, it's terrible what these people are saying. It hurts people's feelings. And, I guess if people still have feelings and it hurts, it is what it is. Maybe they will, accept an apology. But at the end of the day, apology after damage is done, I mean, it works in some instances, it really does. But in other instances, I don't know, man. I don't know. It's kind of like, like these athletes are like, now all of a sudden, like, you're not on top of the world, you're hitting your pocket, and these entertainers. It's like
Mm-hmm.
now all of a sudden, like, hitting your pocket. It's like, does your apology really mean anything?
Well,
Right?
that's
I mean, am I right or wrong? Am I going off on a tangent too much?
no, no, Rich, 110% right. I know we disagree a lot, but 110% right because is it sincere, the apology? So, what Kyrie's going to do right now, he's going to go to synagogues, meet with the Jewish community of Brooklyn and stuff like that, where there is a big Jewish community, and a lot of the Brooklyn Nets fan base is Jewish. A lot of NBA fans are Jewish. So he's going to meet with a lot of Jewish guys. And you know what? Is that sincere, real Rich? That's just to get
Oh,
his
let's
paycheck
say
back,
no. Let's
basically.
say
Just to get
no.
his it's just to get back on the
Right.
court and get his paycheck. That's what it is.
Right.
You know?
But you know what? Why don't you listen? Make an example out of him. Make an example out of Kyrie Irving. Listen, I know you're a good basketball player, bro. But listen, I mean, from your flat Earth stuff to everything in between, and now this. I mean, you're
Mhm.
just saying stuff because you can, or maybe just walk. If you walk like this guy, like I said, LeBron James. I'm so tired of this guy. Guy hasn't said anything. And again, I get beat up by some people all the time when I say that, like you, like say, athletes should just shut up, and entertainers should just shut up and entertain us,
Right.
which is fine. I mean, I guess maybe I've cut back on my comments about just a little bit when some people say to me and they have their argument, is like, you know what, they have a platform.
Mhm.
As a matter of fact, I think it was Roger Waters. They just interviewed Roger Waters from Pink Floyd. I don't know if you know who he is, but from Pink
Yes.
Floyd, and I think he was on the Joe Rogan show, and he's pissed because of all these people saying that entertainers and everybody should just shut up. And he's saying that we have a platform. It's like we have a voice. So our
Mhm.
voice means something. So in the back of my head, you know what? He's right. Maybe he is right. He's using his platform to speak for a cause. Now, again, all these players, they're all high and mighty. You got a cause. Your cause is what? Equality. Your cause is what? Everybody should be treated, the same. There should be no hate speech. It's all
Mhm.
hate speech that's coming out, guys. And this is just as hateful as anything else that's been said to anybody else who's had their feelings hurt. And you guys dropped the fucking ball. The Nets, the NBA, Durant, LeBron James, and anybody else in the NBA that you want to say that could have had a hand in this and saying something right away, you guys were scared. And I don't know what you're scared about, but you were scared. And then when
Eh,
it got a little crazy and you had to start saying stuff and apologizing, when money starts flying, then you put your tail between your legs. How about we just say, look, this is me, this is you. You want to play some basketball? You want to play baseball? You want to play football? If not, shut the fuck up and have a voice for everybody, not just certain selective wokeness, as I was saying. Wow,
Yeah,
sorry, I went on a tangent.
yeah, Rich, no problem, no problem. And I just want to say, there's got to be like a code of conduct policy. I mean, I work for a publicly traded company, and I got to sign something. When you get hired, you sign something. You got to go to these classes, all throughout the year and stuff. Sexual harassment, blah blah blah. There's got to be. I mean, there's some stuff that if I said, Rich, I could put my career on the line. I'm not at work right now, but somebody could hear this that I work with, and if they hear the wrong thing, they can go to human. So it's really touch and go with all these code of conducts nowadays. I can't even wear a Yankee shirt to work. I can only wear the logo of my company in the office. That's how. I mean, there's so many rules, Rich. It's crazy with these publicly traded companies. I know the NBA is a privately traded. No, it's not a publicly traded. It's private, but still, the NBA is a moneymaker. The NFL is a moneymaker. Major League Baseball's money. I think the NFL might be the top money making business in the country, basically. With the money they make. But there's got to be, the players have to be signing something where it says they can't do this shit, especially on social media, Rich, because it seems like social media is the evil of all. There was a Tennessee, the sideline reporters, Rich. Usually the young kids, they do the sideline reports and stuff. You see them on network, you see them on cable during the college games. So there was a female doing the sideline report on Tennessee football. She had to quit this week. You know why, Rich? They dug up some stuff, some racial stuff that she put on Twitter years ago. You can't take away stuff on the internet; it's all there and stuff. Nestor Cortez said some stuff this year. There was some stuff he had to delete.
Josh Allen.
Yeah, all these guys. Yes, Josh Allen. All these guys. I mean, these kids. They got to stay off the okay, not stay off social media, but you got to watch what you say, because Big Brother's watching. You type something, it's going to stay on forever. You got to really pull back on what you're typing. And you know what? It could be career threatening too. I mean, the stuff that Josh Allen did, can you imagine? How about the punter that Buffalo signed with the sexual harassment? Where's he? He's working for a living now. He can't play football ever again, Rich, because they gang raped a girl and stuff. You got to really watch out what you do. You got to be a human being. People are watching. There's cameras everywhere, Rich. I'm going on my tangent now, but that's what it is, Rich. And I'm thinking that Kyrie must have signed something with the NBA or through the Nets, and that's why he's an idiot for doing this.
Yeah. He is an idiot. I mean, he's obviously not making any friends. But I'm like you said, I'm so tired of the selective wokeness in this country. It's like everybody's like, should our feelings get hurt for this? Should we get mad at this person or that person? Because no, man. I mean, let's just stop and look and maybe then talk for a couple minutes. I don't understand. Again, I going back and I'm saying it again, but I don't understand why people just want to hear "I'm sorry" and that's it. And okay, it's good. But when the person on the other side isn't sorry. Now well good that Kyrie Irving knew it was on that movie. He just
Of
wanted
course,
again. I
of
think he
course.
wanted to do just exactly what Kanye West did. He wanted to say stuff to push to see if he could actually be canceled, or to see if he could actually affect something, or affect these guys are losing a lot of money. Kyrie Irving, he's losing a lot of money, and I don't think that he's going to come back to basketball.
You know what, Rich?
Because
Remember how he disappears a lot? He disappeared
yeah,
during COVID. Well, he didn't want to play because he didn't get the vaccine. He could only
well, he was
play
getting
the.
paid too at that time too. I mean, now
Yeah,
he's not
but
getting paid.
he did take leave of absences though. The first year with the Nets, he took he just said, I'm going to take a couple of weeks off." Like, who does that?
Yeah, Tom
You
Brady.
work 81 days a year, Rich. Who does that, right?
But
Crazy.
I think, and that's another thing when we talk about basketball players. So Eric, that's another thing I think it's becoming it's becoming an epidemic in the NBA with. Did it Kyle Lowry? Not Kyle Lowry. Yeah, Kyle Lowry. Didn't he take the second game off just because he needed a rest already?
Yeah,
What's going on? And again, I know you're gonna keep talking like these guys back then were tough guys. These back then tough guys. You talk about Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan said, "I'm being paid to play 82 games plus playoffs and championships. I'm playing 82 games unless I physically cannot drag my body onto the court." These guys are taking games off because they need a mental break, or they played 14 games in a row, or
yeah.
whatever it may be. But it
So
doesn't matter. Again, it's ridiculous. It
yeah,
is.
what about little Johnny, whose daddy spends $500, drives 9 hours from North Dakota to Minnesota because little Johnny wants to see LeBron James play, and the Timberwolves are taking on the Lakers, and LeBron takes off that night. So he $500 spent, 9 hour drive, hotel room probably,
Yeah.
and your player doesn't play. I mean, what do they call it? Injury management or something like that, Rich? You're working 81 days a year, 2 2 hours a day on these 81 days. Play the damn
Now,
game.
aren't these like? Correct me if I'm
Jeez.
wrong. Like they say like a lot of the they say maybe it's overwork like in the off season or because these compared to athletes. Let's compare like a guy like let's compare a guy like George Brett or Mike Schmidt in baseball to a guy like to like Aaron Judge right now or Giancarlo Stanton. It's like their physical attributes at this time they're supposed to be better athletes. They're supposed to be stronger. They're supposed to be why why are pitchers pitching complete games in like in playoffs like we would go into? Why are basketball players playing 82 games? Why like back then? But now they need a break. They're supposed to be physically better now. So why do they need a break? For overwork in the offseason? Is that it?
It's great. Rich, I was at my desk 6:30 Wednesday morning. I didn't get the fuck out till like 6 o'clock at night. And then you know
Yeah.
what? I was back at my desk 6:30 Thursday morning. So did I
Yeah.
take a break? No. My
No.
break is tomorrow. It's called Saturday. That's my break.
Yeah. And you know what's another thing too? We'll go back to Kyrie Irving a second. I noticed him and Jalen Brown are vice presidents of the NBA Players Association.
Oh, jeez.
Do you know? I didn't know that either. Him and it's him, Jalen Brown, and somebody else, another
Wow.
player. I know the two of them. I mean, but Jalen Brown has already voiced his opinion about Kyrie, and this is
Oh,
Kyrie.
wow.
What the fuck you doing? Pretty much, we're like, dude.
Oh, jeez.
But and he didn't comment per se, but like when they asked so many stars, and obviously I followed the Celtics, and he was like pretty much like kind of like no comments. Like, dude, what are you
Wow.
doing?
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know?
You know what, though, Rich? I've been a Nets fan all my life. It's a cursed organization. If I bring up the date October 21st, 1976, you know what that means? Does that mean anything to you,
What's
that
that?
date? It was the date they
No.
traded Dr. J. I mean, the guy was at the peak of his career, and that just started the curse, You know why he was traded, Rich? You know why?
What?
Because the owner owed $7 million. He owed $4 million to the Knicks because he was bringing an NBA team to New York, so he had to pay $4 million. He had to pay the NBA another $3 million for an entry fee, so that's $7 million right there. And all Dr. J was asking for was like $500,000 a year contract. So you know what? New York, you had the Jets, the Nets, and the Mets within a 10-month span. Dr. J's gone, Tom Seaver's gone, and Joe Namath is gone. In 1976, it's crazy. But 27 losing seasons in the next 46 years after Dr. J was traded, 18 seasons of 50 losses or more, 6 seasons of 60 losses or more, and of course, the 2009-2010 season where they went 10-72. I mean, unfortunate events. Tiny Archibald tore his Achilles 34 games into his Nets career. He was gone. Bernard King battled alcohol. He was traded to Utah, and then he goes on to the Knicks and has a great career. Michael Ray Richardson, 3 drug suspensions with cocaine. He goes on to play in Israel, where he's a god. Chuck Daly comes in to coach the Nets. Kenny Anderson and Derek Coleman. What happens? Kenny Anderson goes for a layup. John Starks breaks his wrist, basically. You got Drazen Petrovic, tragically, came to the Nets. 9 months later, dies in a car accident on the Autobahn. Jason Williams came to the Nets, broke his leg after 30 games, and then he murdered someone, goes to jail for that. The only bright spot of the Nets, Rich, was Jason Kidd. Jason Kidd actually led the Nets to 2 championships. They lost both, but you know what? After Jason Kidd left, they go to Brooklyn, and all of a sudden, Kevin Garnett and Paul Pierce come, which was an M80, another blow up. They got no first round draft picks of their own until the year 2027.
Yeah.
Then the big 3: James Harden, Kevin Durant, and Kyrie. James Harden pulls his crap; he's gone, and now you got Kyrie
Harden's
Irving.
out for a
So
couple
you know
months
what,
now.
Rich? I followed this team. They used to play at Rutgers. I followed them. I lived in Jersey. I lived by Rutgers. I followed them to the Brendan Byrne Arena, the Continental Arena, the Izod Arena, the whatever the hell their name arena is.
But you know what though, Eric?
Yeah.
But you know what though? You know what's going to happen to the Nets next year?
What's
I'll tell you right now. If they may not be good at basketball, but they are definitely going to know how to talk to the ladies next year.
Jeez.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, head coach, right? He's going to teach him, right?
Fired by my Celtics to be the head coach. Ime Udoka, Mr. Hansy over there, is going to be your new coach. So whatever. Hey, listen, he's fired Steve Nash. Steve Nash had to be fired, right? I mean,
Players
yeah,
hated
no?
him. Players hated him, Rich. They couldn't stand him.
That was happening.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
was
that was
coming.
evident.
7 games with the season, though. It's kind of like what the Yankees did with Yogi Berra in 1983. They fired him like 9 games, but you had Steinbrenner there. He was impatient and stuff like that.
Do you
But
do you think do you think Steve Nash will get another shot? Or do you think he's going to be blackballed now? He didn't even really get a shot to even show that he was a coach. Really, like, do you think he's going to get another shot?
I don't think he's a good coach, though, Rich. There's guys that can coach, and there's ex-players that I don't think he was a great coach at all. This guy Jacques Vaughn, who's the interim coach right now until they hire your guy from Boston. He
Yeah.
actually led the Nets to the playoffs in the bubble. So I don't know why they didn't keep the guy. They made him assistant coach, and then they brought in Nash and stuff. So he's the interim coach now. But I guess Kevin Durant has to say he's like running the team right now. They don't have a general manager. They do, but it's Kevin Durant who runs the show basically.
Now let's go into that like real quick. You being a Nets fan now, do you just get rid of everybody? Like, even Durant, do you get rid of everybody? Do you get rid of Durant and just like, do you start over a couple of years? I mean, the team itself, I think, like you said before, is cursed just because of the fact that they just can't win. I mean, they had three of the best players in the NBA, and something happened. I mean, look,
So many
Harden's out
tragedies
again.
along the way, and injuries and stuff. I mean, it's been 45 years of pure hell, Rich. 46 years of pure hell.
Yeah, like, I know how I know how it is being a Jets fan, because I've got about more than 50 years, but
you
but the
know,
thing is, it was just, all you guys with, with net fans, rightfully so. I mean, they had, they looked like they had something coming. They really did. But then, sometimes you get those superstars together, and they just can't click, and you know what it is too. I was listening to, what I like to listen to, was it All the Smoke, the podcast with Steven Jackson and
okay.
oh, geez, I forgot. I forgot who else he does it with. But anyway, he does a podcast called, it's called, All the Smoke, and he was talking to Kevin Garnett the other day,
Hmm.
and he's talking to Kevin Garnett and Paul Pierce, and when they went to their run for my Celtics, man, that was a great team. I love that team. Kevin Garnett, my all time favorite basketball players, and just for this statement, he goes, "Listen, man," he's like, "We didn't like each other. None of us liked each other on that team. We were there for one purpose: to win basketball games. That's what we wanted to do. We wanted to win. I don't think these guys give a shit if they win. I don't think Harden, Kyrie, I don't think these guys give a shit if they win. I think they give a shit if they're getting paid a lot of money. I
Yep.
think that if they're saying that, your contract's on the line, then all of a sudden Kyrie's scoring 50 a night,
Hmm.
but I don't think they care about winning. I think they're selfish. And I think Durant is following down that path too by saying that he wants to be traded again. I think it's not like, like I said, Durant and Paul Pierce said, like, man, we used to fight like crazy. But you know what, though? At the end of the day, it's like they hated Rondo, dude. Hated Rondo in
What do
that
they
in
care
that
about? They don't care about playing, Rich. All they care about is their direct deposits. That's what they care about.
but that's gonna cause so many repercussions in sports. Just caring about the money, because it's not gonna become about winning anymore. And in the end of the day, that's what it is. It's about winning. It's like when you're a 10-year-old kid, and you're up to bat at the World Series, and bang, he hits it over the fence and he gets that $10 million contract. No, he says, 10. I hit that over the fence and we won the World Series. You
Hmm.
know, that's the end game. That's the dream when you're a kid, to win that, get the pinnacle, to get the championship. But now I think it's just been sucked away. And listen, right, get the money, but there's a lot of it there. But you know what though? You gotta love the game, want to win, and I don't think a lot of these guys want to win anymore. I really don't.
Nope. Nope. Exactly. No, there's no doubt about it. But a team that wants to win is the Houston Astros, right?
Oh my God, do they want to win, dude? They absolutely want to win. And I don't want to hear what you're gonna say right now. You know what? Before we get into that,
Yep.
let's talk about some of the greatest pitching performances ever in a World Series.
Okay.
Okay?
So we all know
Now, I'm
we
not
both
bringing
we
this.
both agree on number one, though, Rich.
No, listen, how could you not? Listen, you know what though? And Eric, I was trying really hard to find something that I could say to, like, kind of like, well, maybe Don Larson's wasn't that great.
Oh my God!
But,
How can you say that? How can you
no,
say
no, no,
that?
no, 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 no. Listen. I was trying to find something to, like, at least break your balls about. But then you throw the word in perfect. Nothing will ever be. That's the best. But perfect game in the freaking World Series, dude.
And Rich, 6 Hall of Famers in the Dodgers lineup that day. 6 Hall of Famers.
I mean, I mean, that's just crazy. That's I mean,
Ridiculous.
I mean, but also now look, that's a single game.
Yep.
was fantastic. What was the how many games did the Yankees win? What would that go? That go 7?
I believe it did. I mean, this wasn't the winning. I believe it did go 7 and stuff, but yeah, that was game 5 where he pitched which he
I
pitched. It went 7 games. The Yankees won in 7.
No, what do you call? I know I love like listen. There's certain pitchers through history that I wish I could have seen pitch, and I only see them in videos. Like I got to see Nolan Ryan towards the tail end of his career. You know how much I love Nolan Ryan, and you know
Hmm.
how much I went on my tear a couple of weeks ago about how I would have loved to keep Nolan Ryan and traded Tom Seaver
Yep.
instead of Nolan Ryan. To
Yep.
this day, I still stand by that because no, I would have rather had a Nolan Ryan than Tom Seaver.
Hmm.
But Bob Gibson, you know what Bob Gibson did in 1967? Bob Gibson in 1967,
Yep.
complete games 1, 4, and 7, 26 strikeouts to beat the Red Sox.
He had
Complete
17
games
strikeouts in game 1.
in one
Uh,
game.
yep, 17 strikeouts. 5 hits he gave up in 1 walk in game 1. Yeah, but you know what though? That was in my top 5, Rich. But it wasn't. It wasn't number 2. It was number 5. There's a couple of other performances that outshined Bob Gibson.
Oh,
And
yeah, it was. Go ahead. Go ahead.
yeah, number 2 was Sandy Koufax. Now in '65, Sandy Koufax took a lot of flack because he took off. Game 1 was on Yom Kippur, and he decided because of his religious affiliation, being Jewish, he didn't want to pitch on that day. So he came back in Game 7. There was a lot of scrutiny on that. So what does he do? He pitches Game 2, wins it. He comes in Game 5, pitches a shutout and a complete game shot, and here's the best. Game 7, second best performance in World Series history. Pitches another shutout on on 2 days rest, nonetheless. Can you believe
That
that?
guy was amazing. That
Can you
guy
believe
was amazing. That guy was amazing, dude. Amazing.
amazing? Amazing. And his career wasn't even that long, but if he was a little more durable, I know he had the injuries, or he just retired early. I think he retired. He was like 31 years old, whatever. But
Eric,
Koufax was
he had 5 years though that are just are unbeatable. 5 of those seasons were just unreachable stuff.
yep.
The pitch 5 years of being the most dominating pitcher in the game for 5 years straight. Like you said,
Hmm.
short but most dominating.
No doubt
I
about it.
mean, I mean over
Yep.
that 5 year period, there wasn't too many people that were that dominating in that 5 year period. You know what I forgot about too? I was looking, looking through these games. Jack Morris's game back in
Ah,
1991, the game
that's
7,
number
10
3.
innings.
Number 3, Murph. I had that as number 3. Yes, perfect. Yeah, 10 shutout
Man,
innings, right?
yeah. Smoltz, they pulled Smoltz with 7 and a third.
Yeah, yeah.
And that game
So,
was him. It was
so
him against. Yeah. Go
yeah.
ahead.
So Morris pitches 10 innings, Rich. And what the no hitter, the guy who pitched Javier Garcia is his name. See, I don't
Yes.
even know. I forget his name and stuff. Only
Javier
5 innings.
Garcia, Brian Abreu, Rafael Montero, and Ryan Presley.
Yeah, but Rich, we'll touch on that. But you're gonna remember that in 10 years. Come on. And that's
But
part of my spiel later. But yeah, Jack Morris is number 3 for me, and number 4 is a weird one, Rich, because I don't know if you remember 2014, the Giants and the Royals. The Giants won their third. It was like every other year the Giants were winning the World Series with Bruce
yeah,
Bochy.
man.
So Madison Bumgarner, he came in Game 7 after pitching Game 5, and the guy throws 2 hits of 5 inning relief in that deciding game and stuff. Game 7. I mean, it wasn't a starting pitcher, but it was like one of the best pitching performances in the World Series. And I have a number 4 ahead of Bob Gibson. So I don't know if you remember that particular game.
I do, of course I do. Yeah, I mean that's when like you said, the Giants were just on those tears.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
they would just win, win, win,
yeah,
win. That's all they did. They'd win.
and who
You
would
know.
think that the Royals would have more World Series appearances in the past 13 years than the Yankees? And as a matter of fact, this is the anniversary. It was 13 years ago tonight that the Yankees won their 27th World Series title.
Oh, that's fantastic. Oh, that's great. Good,
But,
good for
but
the
well,
Yankees.
let's talk about no hitters, Rich. Let's talk about no hitters because you know what? When I saw this no hitter, then I said, "Oh man, this is going to be this is going to add to the show this week. This is perfect." We always think about topics, Rich, and then all of a sudden the topics come into fruition and stuff. So it's not a no hitter.
All right. Now let's. All right. So, how many hits did the Astros get that night?
Okay, the Phillies. You mean the Phillies had 0 hits?
The Phillies. The Phillies. How many hits did they get?
They had 0 hits.
None. None.
None.
So what I'm saying though is, look, you know what? There goes Kevin with another good point there. They got no hit. It's like I said, they didn't get a hit. So the pitcher didn't throw a no hitter, but the Yankees didn't get a hit, so the Yankees got no hit. They got no
Now,
hit by the Houston Astros. That's it
I was
wasn't a
on
no hitter thrown by one person. Listen, it was a no hitter by committee. I get it. Maybe I'm a little partial to the no hitters by committee because my Mets threw one this year against the Phillies. I think right this year.
and the Astros did it against the Yankees too. Same,
Egg.
same pitcher. Yeah, but you know what though, Rich? You were on social media today doing a teaser for the show, and you're reading me the rules. And the rule was changed in 1991, Rich, because you know what? Baseball had its pussification. It became Pussyville baseball. You know? I mean, come on now. Ask these old timers if it was a no hitter. What are they going to tell you? Ask Sandy Koufax. Ask Sandy Koufax if it was a no hitter. You know who pitched a no hitter in the postseason? Don Larson and Roy Halladay. Those are the two guys that pitched no hitters in the
Oh
postseason.
my God, dude! You just brought up Roy Halladay, dude. I just watched something on him the other day. Heartbreaking story about him, dude.
Yep.
Roy Halladay.
Yep. Horrible. Horrible.
Did you even know like what was going on with that guy, or like I mean, you obviously remember how insanely dominating he was.
Yeah.
There's a
Yeah. He bought that little airplane, right? He retired. He was in retirement, right? When he got that airplane, right?
yeah, man, yeah, he retired because he came into the league in his first season, and the coach basically told him, "What the hell are you doing here? Get the hell out of here!" And
Huh.
because he was terrible, and
Wow.
I guess when he got drafted by the Toronto Blue Jays when he
Yes.
was
Yes.
21 or 22 years old, 21 years old, and he came to the MLB, and he was terrible, dude. And Toronto was less like, you got to go down to the minors. He
Yep.
met his name escaped. I wasn't prepared to talk about this. I just saw it the other day, but he met a pitching coach who completely switched up the way he pitched,
Ah,
and
changed
from
all his
that
mechanics,
day,
huh? Hmm.
what's that?
He changed all the mechanics.
He changed his mechanics because, and that's the thing. He would for his whole life he would never do it. He would just pitch, pitch, pitch. As a matter of fact, he threw a perfect game in his last. Him and it's funny. I just saw it there. Him and Randy Johnson threw both two perfect games on the last day of their high school their high school career. Randy Johnson
Wow.
did also, but
Crazy.
this guy, like he was married. He had two kids. He would have pain in his back. He had pain. He'd get migraine headaches.
Hmm.
It's sad because toxicology reports came out and said that there might have
Yeah,
been
it
some
wasn't
drugs
good
in his
what was in his
system,
system, right? Yeah, yeah, yeah. I saw that.
prescription drugs in his system, and the guy,
Morphine,
he had
yeah.
morphine, and it's very tragic. And then and then you see like all the pictures of him with his kids and his wife, and it's a very tragic story what happened with him. But you're right. I'm sorry, you just sparked a memory with the Roy Halladay. I mean, I loved Roy Halladay, even though he
Oh,
was a Philly.
yeah, yeah. He was a Blue Jay too, Rich. He was down in the Yankees in his career, so we both suffered the Roy Halladay pitching the appearances and stuff like that. But yeah, what a tragic way to go. And yeah, when the toxicology report came out, the autopsy and stuff like that, kind of shocking because you never know. Seemed like a nice guy, Of course he's a nice guy, but you never know goes on behind closed doors and stuff in somebody's house, and you don't know, their how they, if he had some issues or something like that. But very tragic. I
Yeah.
think he was 40 years old, Rich, when he passed away. Crazy.
Eric, I don't think he was 40, to be honest with you.
Wow. Wow. Crazy. Crazy. But
I think he was.
yeah, but
Uh,
I said we go off on these we kind of like steer away, but I think you're just steering away because you don't want me to explain why it's not a no-hitter, Rich.
well, listen. At the end of the day, I was really sending out those videos to break your balls. I did read the thing; it did say Major League Baseball describes it as that way. But listen,
Okay.
you're right.
Okay.
You know me. I'm a guy that throw no hitter. Four of them threw it. But the bottom line to me is, I think that night
Yep.
sparked the Astros, dude. Because yo, this
Yeah.
kid Pena with a big
Yep.
home run.
Yep.
Bregman, you can't get Bregman out, dude. You can't get him out, and you can't get a ball past him either.
Yeah, and Syndergaard, he was like one pitch away from getting out last night, and
I was
he gives
so
up the
happy
home
to see
run to
him get
Pena.
shelled.
Crazy,
I was
crazy.
so happy to see him get shelled. You see Pena the other night, one of the first or the first, the only
Rookie.
rookie shortstop to ever win a
Yeah,
Gold Glove.
yeah, crazy, right? And the only rookie shortstop that had a home run in the World Series as well, too. Look at that,
Oh,
right? And
really?
yeah, so Rich, going back to the no hitters, like, I just want to explain something to you. So
Sure.
let's give you a scenario in a baseball game, okay? So
Yep.
the first hitter gets a single, the second hitter comes up gets a double, the third hitter comes up gets a triple, and the cleanup hitter gets a home run. So do we give them a cycle? Do we give a cycle to the team too, like a team no hitter? What do we do with that?
All right, all right, all right. You know what? That's a really good one. How long did it take you to come up with that one?
I busted Murph's balls. I busted Murph's
How did
balls.
you come up with that one? That was a good one. You know what? You got me. You got me. You know
You
what though?
know,
The team hit for the cycle.
you know what? In Little League it works, Rich, but it doesn't work in the major leagues. Not a no hitter. I mean,
Yeah,
okay, I understand the Phillies got 0 hits. Okay, so they got 0 hits. Move on.
yeah. You're right. No, no, no. Listen. All right. You know what? You're right. You're right.
Oh,
It was. You know.
and another thing, when the Mets got their no hitter, their combined no hitter, it was like the celebration, like they were winning the World Series. So you know what? I do give the Astros credit because they did win a World Series game and they're celebrating. So even though they gave up 0 hits, they could still celebrate because it's a World Series victory. The way the Mets celebrated in April, Rich, it was pathetic.
Why are we talking about the Mets? Why are we talking about the Mets now? I'm just sitting here like, you know what? I forgot about the Mets, and I ain't talking about the Mets.
Well, you know
What's
what,
going
Rich?
on?
We're
I
we're
just
gonna
got
let
over it.
No, how can you get over it, Rich? Free agency starts on Monday. I mean,
No.
I got a list of players here I want to go over with you, Rich, but free agency starts on Monday. What happens is the players have 5 days to negotiate contracts with their current team. And after that, on November 10th, it's all free to go. So Aaron
You know what?
Judge.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. What I got a little bit of a problem with everybody saying how the Mets got to keep their hands off Aaron Judge.
Mm,
Okay.
mhm.
Now, what about how about in return the Yankees keep their hands off Edwin Diaz?
Well, I don't know if you saw the news about Aaron Judge. He's keeping his same agent. Usually, when the players escalate into these huge contracts, their big money contract, they usually switch agents. So it is pretty good news that the Yankees are doing that. But you know what, though, and I'll go over what Cashman and Boone said today. But if the Yankees do sign if the Yankees do sign Judge, excuse me, there might not be any money to sign Diaz. So, but I don't think the Yankees are going to go that route because they see what happened with Chapman. They're not going to go that long with a closer. What the Yankees' MO is, I think they're to go bullpen by committee and see how that works. Because Tampa Bay's done that over the past couple of years and it worked for them. So I think Diaz will wind up or stay in Citi Field. That's my opinion.
I think he's going to stay. I think he's going to stay in City Field too. I mean, why wouldn't he? I mean, where else is he going to go? You said you had another. You said you had a couple list of free agencies agents that you wanted me to see what I think. Like, what do you think is going to happen for my Mets? You have something that I don't
I
know.
got some players' names. I got about a dozen or so players I want to go over and stuff,
Sure.
and see how they would fit or if they would stay. There's some current guys. So the first one on my list is, of course, Jacob DeGrom.
Jacob DeGrom. If you believe what you say, you believe what you hear about the players. Mark Canna says, I get you went on a podcast. Say, don't worry about it. Jacob DeGrom, he's going to be fine. He's staying in New York. Um, Yeah, well, of course I want Jacob DeGrom. I mean, he's the best player in baseball. But I also don't want to turn this into something like like we're kissing his ass and tell the Mets what you want. Do you want 30 million? Do you want this? You want that? Steve Cohen's got the money. He's gonna if he wants to stay a Met, Steve Cohen's gonna make sure he stays a Met. Jacob DeGrom is gonna be a Met. Him and Scherzer are gonna roll out there on opening day, and for that matter, Bassett's gonna be there as well. I think the three of them they're gonna take care of Bassett, and Scherzer's got money left on his contract, so you're not gonna give him anything. So I think you're gonna see DeGrom. You're gonna see DeGrom back. I
Mhm.
definitely think you're gonna see him back.
So
What do you think?
yeah, if you lose DeGrom, do you use an insurance policy like Carlos Rondon?
Uh, no.
No.
No, I just insurance policy, whatever. Peterson better put his big boy pants on. McGill better put his big boy pants on. I don't know. At that point, listen. At that point, there is no insurance policy. Now,
Mhm.
when I say that, I mean you're losing the best pitcher in baseball. There's no insurance policy when you're replacing the best pitcher in baseball.
True.
Like if you have an insurance, if you have a policy of if you get into a car accident, maybe I don't know. I'm talking about policies here, but the insurance policy aspect of it, there's nobody that's going to fill his shoes.
Mhm.
Nobody. It's just not. I don't care if you give me Shane Bieber. I don't care if you give me anybody. You're not going to fill his shoes. So, you know what? Put in the big boy pants, Peterson, McGill, and I don't know. That's it. And somebody else has to step it up. That's how
Mhm.
I look. That's how I see it.
Okay, what about Brandon Nimmo coming back? What's your opinion on that?
Brandon Nimmo could come back to my baseball team if he accepts $12 million to play center field. I am not under any circumstances giving Brandon Nimmo $21 to $22 million like the dumb Colorado Rockies are going to offer him. Are you out of your mind? Look, I'm not saying this is not a bash against Nimmo. I love Nimmo. The guy's he's full of piss and vinegar. He gets his big hits. He plays. He plays a good center field. But if I gotta give it, no, you go to Colorado, go home. You live in Wyoming, no, I'll pay you 12. You want to stick around, but if not, I might want to try and figure out a way of how to weasel somebody at your organization there.
Ah.
I want to try and weasel my way out of maybe getting Stanton off your heads
Oh, you take Giancarlo Stanton off our hands?
in 3 seconds. You know why?
Wow. Yeah.
You know what? He would DH every single day for the Mets,
Oh yeah,
every day.
no doubt, no doubt. That would be. I think the Yankees would welcome that because I think Stanton's holding up a lot of the cash. Basically, I guess Uncle Stevie would have to take the contract, though, right?
I can't take credit for that because I listen to a lot of sports talk radio, and Brandon Tierney said that. He's got to get rid of Tiki Barber too. Tiki Barber's terrible. I can't listen to
Oh,
Tiki Barber
jeez.
anymore.
Yeah, hard, hard.
Brandon Tierney's great though, dude. I listen to those guys sometimes, and Tiki Barber will say something, and he just wants to say, "Will you shut up?" But
Mhm.
he doesn't because he's respectful because he's Barber. But I can't take credit for that. He was saying today, because he's a big Yankee fan. He was talking about Stanton would fit perfectly in the Mets lineup, and I'm thinking to myself, he's crazy. But you know what? No, he's not too fucking crazy. We got the money, and he'd be on DH every single day. He'll either hit a home run or strike out. I'm fine with that because that's what Vogelbach does. So that's what
Yep.
we got now.
Yep.
I'll
Yep.
take it.
Yeah. Okay, Rich, there's a guy coming out of Japan. His name's Kodai Senga. So this guy, he's 6'2", 198, right-handed pitcher. He's got a three-quarter delivery, throws a fastball averaging about 95, 96, tops out at 100. A deceptive fork ball, which is called ghost fork in Japan. It's really a good pitch. A cutter and a slider. This guy's coming
What's
out
it?
this
What's
year, apparently. What's that? I'm sorry.
what's his name? What's his name?
His name is Kodai Senga. Now, I know the
Never heard.
Mets.
Sounds like something I might have to get a vaccine for.
Yeah, oh geez, are we gonna have to do that again? Oh no, masks coming back out because we got the Kodai Senga or something like that, or maybe it's the New World Organization that comes out with this, the disease. But yeah, no, he's out, and Uncle Stevie likes to part with the money. I don't know if the Mets ever done one of these Japanese guys from right from Japan. I know they had Hideo Nomo, but I think Nomo came from the Dodgers, right? I don't think the Mets ever did one of these. Yeah, I know the Yankees did with Tanaka and of course.
They had
Matsui.
Kaz Matsui? Kaz
Yeah,
Matsui back then. I don't know if he came directly from there, or I know
yeah,
they had Matsui. I don't know if he got them like that.
yeah. So Hideki Matsui we got from Japan like that. That new way. I guess you have to put you have to put money down on it, whatever. But another guy
Yeah.
that might come to the Mets, Wilson Contreras. Now I know he's a catcher, and I know you guys are grooming Alvarez, but the two guys you have right now, I think Contreras would be a nice tutor for Alvarez. What do you think about that?
No, I want Alvarez to get thrown right to the wolves on opening day. I think Alvarez is going to be he's going to be the future catcher for this Mets organization a long time. And listen, they're wrong about him. They're wrong about him, but I don't know. What are they going to pick in Travis to come to be a like a mentor for him? Like I don't know. I don't think so. I'd just say I may as well just keep Nito there and just keep Nito and just have him teach him how to be a catcher because Alvarez is going to hit bombs in Citi Field, and Alvarez is going to have to take on a pitching staff that consists of two top level pitchers when Degrom comes back and a couple of good ones. So
Mm-hmm.
somebody is going to have to teach him how to be a catcher and how to control a pitching staff. But I don't think I'm not going to sign Contreras just for that.
And then Tyon Walker, if he comes back, if doesn't come back, you got some other guys out there. Tyler Anderson from the Dodgers, Martin Perez, lefty from the Rangers, and of course Jamison Tyon from the Yankees as a free agent. So I mean, got to fill in that number 5 starter. I mean, any of these guys attractive to you, Rich? I know Tyon pitched pretty well with the Yankees. I mean, he's meant for New York. I had that one bad playoff game where he never pitched in relief, but they put him in relief. But those are 3 guys that are out there. And then the bullpen, you got Zach Eflin and Ottavino. He's out. He's up for free agency this year. So I don't know what you're going to do with your bullpen there. I know you need help in the bullpen, right, Rich?
I don't want any starters. I want get me a couple of middle relief guys. The starter thing's going to work itself out. I have trust in the owner. He's gonna make it work with DeGrom coming back and Scherzer's going to come back and I don't really think that, I don't know. I don't want to take a flyer on any starters, but I do, however, would love to have some middle relief. I mean, and as far as a
How about
catcher
Otani?
goes,
Otani.
oh my God, Eric, I would love to have Otani. Yeah, I would love him. And I don't know if there's too many players that would be off, off the market if the Angels came knocking and wanted Otani. I
Yeah,
mean,
exactly. Right.
I listen. I'm partial to Big Pete. And Big Pete's not going anywhere. Neither is Lindor. But mostly everybody else, Shohei Otani. Listen, Shohei Otani in New York. I don't know if I don't know if in baseball with the impact that he would have on a big city.
Yep. Crazy, right?
And listen, he's when Matsui was here, your Matsui, like he made a big impact on the city. It's like,
Yep.
what about a guy like Otani coming in here and winning 10 games, striking out over 100 and hitting 40 home runs and over
Mhm.
100 RBIs?
Yep.
Godzilla. They used to call the other guy Godzilla. What are they going to call this guy?
Yeah,
Hey,
right.
listen, it's going to happen.
Even Ichiro, his last couple of years that he played with the Yankees, he was the popular guy around here and stuff.
Yeah, but Ichiro's just a popular guy anywhere he went. He's just one of those guys. I loved watching that guy play. Little guy,
Oh,
could hit the ball anywhere he wants.
yep.
You weren't shifting on him because you weren't shifting on Ichiro. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, exactly. One of the best hitters I ever seen. Besides well, Pete Rose, I guess. But we'll talk about. We still got to do our Pete Rose
He hit
show.
like who he hit like Ichiro. He hit like Rod Carew.
Oh, a slap hitter. Yeah, yeah. Rod Carew with the slap, the
Yeah,
lefty, the slap. Yep, exactly, exactly. Yep.
Rod Carew would tell you where you guys standing. You sure you're going to stand there? So I'm going to hit the ball over here, and that's what Rod Carew would do. And I think that's kind of like what Ichiro did. Ichiro played a lot of years in Japan. I don't think he's another one who gets enough credit for being one of the best hitters in Major League Baseball ever. I mean, I know he's again spent some time in Japan, but the guy I think the guy played till he was like 65 years old. I think they were lying about his age. He played forever.
Yeah, he hit some home runs too. He had some pop.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I think it's wasn't. I think it might have been one of his last. I think one of his last hits might have been a home run.
crazy, right? Unreal.
Excuse me.
So one more
Yeah.
name, Rich. One more name, and this is a name from the past. Took a year off. I don't. You know who I'm thinking about right now coming to the Mets? Michael
Really?
Conforto.
You know what? The only reason why I want Michael Conforto to come back is because I have his jersey in my closet, and I do like Michael Conforto. I bought, when I bought a Michael Conforto jersey very early on in his Mets career. I liked him. I liked Michael Conforto. Do I want to see him come back? Yeah, nice to come back. Can he hit? See if he hits. But once you start bitching about a contract and how much money, then I don't want to really talk to you anymore because you got to get what you get. You don't get upset.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Boggs hit the last home run. It was his 3,000th hit, I think. That was his last hit or something like that. He was a good hitter too, Boggs. Kind of get you to hit every time you wanted it and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
I had my list of Yankees that I want to see, and of course the number one is Aaron Judge. I'd like to see Justin Verlander. If I can't get Verlander, I would go after Carlos Rodon. I think he's a good pitcher, and I think the Yankees kind of shot themselves by not getting him at the trading deadline this year. Edwin Diaz, if he does come to the Yankees, hey, I'll take it. Anthony Rizzo, you need back. I would take Jameson Taillon back. I would take Andrew Benintendi back, and I would take Michael Conforto if I don't get Benintendi. So it all depends on Aaron Judge and how much money the Yankees have to spend. But if they don't sign Judge, you're gonna have to spend the money somewhere.
Benintendi would look nice in the Mets lineup. I'm not even kidding. I think he would look good in the Mets lineup there. I would like him at the top of the order.
Well, we're going to speak about Benintendi in a little bit because Brian Cashman and Aaron Boone had their should I say funeral today for the 2022 Yankees. They put it to rest, basically.
It's amazing that you're calling a 99. Isn't it amazing that we're calling a 99 win season a funeral, and I'm calling a 101 win season a funeral, like as a Met fan?
Yeah, it's crazy, and they had this press conference today. And the funny thing is that Boone will be back next year, but Cashman's not signed, but Cashman will be signed because there's some kind of like a gentleman's agreement between Steinbrenner and Cashman, where if he wants to come back, he can come back whenever he wants. So I think he's going to come back. But Aaron Boone referred to this time as being a rough time, and basically you need to slay the dragon in Houston. Cashman said it's frustrating, and Cashman related to the Andrew Benintendi injury, which kind of like derailed the train that was unstoppable at the time. And it was unstoppable because that was the trade where he was supposed to be playing left field, getting the hits. And he's like a slap hitter too, Benintendi, It seems like these lefty guys, But But yeah, that was a big injury for the Yankees, because then you had Aaron Hicks back out there, and he had that experiments with Cabrera, and we saw what happened in the playoffs with those balls dropping in the Bermuda Triangle with the guys unable to catch it. So that's what Cashman said. They're looking forward to the future. The main goal is bringing Judge back, which they say will not be simple due to the booing, which did not help in the playoffs and stuff. But Aaron Judge checked the boxes. He's a fan favorite, respected in the clubhouse, goes about his business professionally, and he's an elite performer. Boone had a nice conversation with Aaron Judge apparently after the American League Championship Series, and he said,
Go back to rewind for a second. Again, I'm gonna go crazy about this again. Okay,
"Yeah,
well, is Aaron Judge gonna let the fact that the fucking Yankee fans booed him in Yankee Stadium be the deciding factor that he's gonna leave the organ? Listen, I'm gonna say this: you guys have, one of the greatest sports organizations in the history of sports. You're gonna let a little booing from the Yankee fans? Do you know what kind of shit that Reggie Jackson heard back in the day? Calling him all sorts of names, fighting on the. I mean, you're
Rich,
gonna let
they were throwing
some
batteries
booze?
at him. They were throwing batteries
Uh,
at him. They were throwing money at him, pennies, quarters. I remember I was at those games in the 70s, Rich. I saw shit getting thrown on the field. It's like you're rooting for the team, and you're I mean, you're entitled to boo. You pay your money. You pay, a guy's going to strike out 4 times, Rich. You're going to lose a game. Yeah, you're going to boo, because what's the goal as a fan? You want to go to see the team perform. And the Yankees were just
booed
striking out.
Derek Jeter, dude. They
Yep.
booed Jeter.
Yep. And what did Jeter do? Do you think it bothered Jeter, Rich? I don't think one bit.
No,
So,
again, if you're gonna boo, they booed Derek Jeter.
yep.
The guy the most beloved guy in the last 50 years. They booed him.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Judge, you're gonna say you're gonna get your pussy hurt because the New York fan booed you, and that's gonna be your sticking point. If he would ever come out and say that, I don't need. It is no hope for the younger generation in this country. If he leaves because he says the Yankee fans were mean to him, oh my god! I saw your post on Instagram about the Halloween costume, the millennial. My
Yeah.
feelings are hurt in the
Yep.
bubble wrap.
Yep.
That's
Yep.
what I feel like it's like, dude.
Yep.
So
Yep.
come on, suck it up, man.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
look,
the
look,
kid with bubble paper on and everything, right? Because he's a millennial, But you heard Jose Canseco this week. I did a little teaser on that. You heard Canseco's telling Judge not to come back to New York. I mean, who the hell is Jose Canseco to say that?
I'll tell you one thing, Jose Canseco's not a liar. I can tell you that much.
You know what
Not
though,
a liar.
Rich?
Every single one of those people he outed, all were dirty.
Yeah, exactly. But he's telling Judge not to sign in New York because he's getting booed. Come on now, really? I mean, how about when he was hitting the home runs? He was on a pedestal. The guy was getting cheered. Every network was breaking in during college football. Fans down south were like, "You kidding me? Aaron Judge is over an LSU game because they're going to show him at bat." That Judge was loved this summer. I mean, geez, in the playoffs he underperformed. We know that, and the fans have every right to boo him. And then after the season, some Yankees come out and said, "Oh, the fans are a little harsh. Don't come to New York and play." If it's that, if you're a pussy, the Yankee organization's been around well over 100 years, Rich. There's been plenty of players. Do you mean to tell me they didn't boo Mickey Mantle? They didn't boo Yogi Berra? Come on now. When a fan doesn't see what they want to see, they're gonna boo.
Hold on a second. We got a caller. We got a
Oh
caller
boy.
on the show.
Yeah. Woo.
Hold on a second. Kev. Orbs. You there? All right, let's see. Kev, you there, bud?
Now he is.
I can't hear you, Kev. All right, maybe there's something wrong with his speaker or something. But he's trying to call in. By the
Oh,
way,
it says,
Kevin,
Rich, it says call in is disabled. I don't know if we have to do something. Something just popped up on the screen I saw.
That's weird.
There, boys.
Strange.
All right, one more time. Hey, Kev, there you are, bud. What's going on?
What's up, fellas?
Hey, what's up?
Not much. What's going on, Dubs?
What are we? This is you guys are formally meeting for the first time. EDUBBS meet Orbs. Orbs meet EDUBBS.
What's up, Orbs? How you doing? Yeah. Nice to meet you.
Doing okay.
Good.
Yeah.
You're a Yankee fan? You're a Yankee fan?
I am, sir. I am.
Okay. What do you think?
So what do you have to say about all this nonsense that's going on about Judge? I think is pussy hurting. What do you think about that?
So I don't think he's coming back.
Wow.
And you want to know why?
Yeah,
absolutely.
because the way it was handled at the start of the season.
Ah,
I think there's only one way I think he comes back, and then that's if Cashman doesn't come back.
wow,
Really?
really?
Yeah, that's my honest feeling about it. Like, I've thought about it for a long time, and I think he was just, scorned, if you want to use that word.
Yeah.
It's just mishandled, or maybe it wasn't mishandled. Maybe it was on purpose. I don't know. But that's my true feeling about it. And it's sad. I'd love to have him back.
Now, do you think he's going to Cashman's going to shoot himself twice in the foot because they could have got one of the shortstops in the beginning of last season too? Because I guess they were saving to give Judge the contract and stuff. So maybe they shouldn't have offered Judge the contract, or maybe done it during the season and got one of the shortstops. It would have helped out, I would think.
Yeah, I prefer the kid though. Kid's
Okay.
pretty good.
Okay.
I like him too, dude. He plays good. He plays a good shortstop. I like him.
What about
Yeah,
Volpe though? What about Volpe?
Bait him.
Yep.
Use him as bait.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Get rid of him and Torres.
So you want? I agree with Torres. I think that experiment.
You stick DJ at second where he should be, and you find a third baseman.
What? Okay, yeah. Or what about Rizzo?
You don't like Donald
first?
third base?
Rizzo. Who's it first? Rizzo. You want Rizzo back?
I want Rizzo at first, and that puts DJ back where he's supposed to be at second base.
Exactly. Okay. What about
that's
Trey
my
Turner?
ideal situation.
What about Trey Turner playing third base? Would you take that?
I don't know. It doesn't excite me. But again, like Brocious didn't excite me either, and look how he turned out.
Right. Donaldson's not the answer though.
No.
Yeah.
He's that was so weird from the get-go with like the stuff between him and Cole the season before.
Yep.
Like that. It's just like I just scratched my head at that one for a long time.
Kevin, what do you think about that trade with the Twins? It's kind of like a neutral trade. Do you think the Twins got the better of the trade now because of what happened with IKF and Donaldson?
No, I'm happy to see Sanchez gone.
Okay, yeah, definitely, yeah.
In my mind, whatever it took to get him out of here, because he was as big a liability as Gallo, except Sanchez hit home runs.
Exactly, yeah. When he did hit one, when he made contact, right?
But Sanchez was also he'd be losing games on his defense too.
Oh my God, there were so many games.
Past balls go by and losing games.
Well, he made games difficult. He was responsible for a handful of losses. But he made it
more than your normal catcher would be.
He raised your blood pressure while you watched the game.
Oh, speaking about catchers, Rich, we should give the no-hitter to Christian Vasquez because the catcher caught 9 innings of no-hit ball. So Vasquez.
There you go. There you go. We'll give the catcher no-hitter then. Absolutely. Yeah, there you go. We'll do that. Yeah, I couldn't stand watching Sanchez behind the plate. If I was a Yankee fan, I would want to shoot that guy.
Especially when Chapman was pitching, because Chapman was throwing in the dirt and nothing. Sanchez wasn't catching anything. I think that messed with Chapman's mind, basically.
Like Sanchez caught like Cano ran to first.
Oh, geez, on ground balls, right?
Yeah,
that's funny
because he can't. Oh my God. Well, needless to say, both of us, all three of us, are sitting here. Well, not tonight, but watching the World Series. How do you, Kev? Let's get your thoughts. How do you feel about a Yankee fan? I guess pretty much like me I'm watching the Phillies, and you're watching the Houston Astros competing in a World Series when our team should be there. How do you feel about watching the Astros in the World Series? They're probably going to win the World Series.
Well, I honestly don't know because baseball ended a week ago.
Mm-hmm.
That's spoken like a true fan, dude. Absolutely, yeah. But I do love the game of baseball, Kev. And but I can't bring myself to even root or say the Phillies' name. I can't root for the Phillies, dude. I'm not rooting for anybody, but I can't stay away from baseball. That's all it is.
Yeah, had they not danced around in Yankee Stadium, I think I may have tuned into a little bit of the World Series. But I just can't watch it,
Sure.
Well, I certainly can. So I'm going to finish tomorrow night when the Astros take the World Series. Then baseball will be over. Then we can move on to watching my Jets. And wait, you know what, Kev? Stay on for 1 second here, because I think we're going to go into a football for 1 second. I just want to ask you a question real quick. I don't know if you have to get out of here or what, but real quick
No, I'm
about
hiding in my basement.
Me too. I'm in my basement too. I'm 6 feet
I
under.
got college kids here. I'm hiding from them.
Perfect. Well, I got a before we start our football segment. What's going on with Schneider and your the Commanders, whatever. I know you're a Redskins / Commanders fan. What's going on over there with Schneider and the team? Have you been paying attention to this? Yeah. You
Well,
there?
I'm
hopefully
here.
he's get.
Oh, Kevin's there. All right, there you go.
Well, hopefully he's. Sorry, I think
That's right, dude.
I walked away too far. I think. Hopefully he's getting out. The guy's a piece of shit.
Mhm.
He's been, burying that organization in controversy since he bought the team.
Yeah.
I'm happy to see him go.
Right.
My buddy sent me something that like Bezos and Jay-Z were trying to buy him out or something. And
And Byron
rather
Allen,
keep
who was on
Snyder.
Real People. Remember that show, Real People, from the 80s? Byron Allen. I said, wow, that show really paid him well.
Dude, Byron Allen makes a bunch of money. He's like one of the. I think he's a comedian. He does like there's something with comedians.
Yeah, but he's a CEO. He's a CEO. He's got his own media group now. He's crazy. The guy was on Real People back in the 80s, and now he's going to buy the Commanders. It's crazy.
Yeah, I want Jay-Z to have no part of my team.
Why, you don't think that'll be fun? You don't think if Jay-Z buys a team, it'll be fun?
I don't know. He's going to turn it into his little Rock Nation, whatever nonsense. And I'd really rather have no part of that.
What about Bezos?
Like the funny thing is like it was rumored that Jay-Z and Bezos, and in my head, I'm like, well, why the hell does Bezos need anybody to partner up with?
Yeah, right. It's crazy, right?
Bezos looks like a dork, and Jay-Z is like the cool face of the face of the company. I mean, Jeff Bezos looks like he's the biggest dork. He looks like a cyborg. He just looks like not even like a real person, dude. Like, you gotta have
he totally could be a robot.
Yeah. No, if somebody walked up to him and just ripped his face off, and I saw like wires and like beady eyes behind there, I would not be surped. That guy is not a real human being, dude.
I believe it, man. I wear a small tinfoil hat, not a big one, just a little small one,
So if Bezos buys the team, does he paint the Commanders logo on Blue Origin?
Oh, man.
Fuck Jeff. You know what? Fuck Jeff Bezos. He's another piece of shit. I can't stand that guy either.
Crazy.
Another
right?
guys. I want to be the first trillionaire. And while you're nickel and diming and adding like 99 cents here to my Amazon orders.
How about you be the first person to end poverty, you rich son of a bitch?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, exactly. How about that?
He could end poverty with his pocket change.
You know what though?
Yeah.
He'll probably win the Powerball tomorrow night, the 1.5 billion, right?
Oh my god!
No, I got a ticket, so I think I'm penciling myself in for that.
Yeah, I'm gonna win. Kanye's gonna win, and Kyrie Irving's gonna win. So those are the three winners tomorrow.
Kyrie Irving. So you got the winning ticket. So I shouldn't even. I bought a couple today. I'm gonna go. Maybe I shouldn't even buy more because you got the winning ticket. But 1.5.
No, I mean you could. It's just going to increase my jackpot. So go ahead. Buy away.
1.5 million and $1, right?
Buy away. Help me on the taxes.
Oh yeah.
Hey, Rich, you got to buy them in Fishkill. That store here in Fishkill, they have a lot of winners over here. Where CVS is, Smokes for Less, I think it is. Yeah.
There's a place up in Newburgh that my buddy told me to go to too.
Oh yeah.
So
cool.
All right, listen, E. What do we got here? We talked about. We went on a little tangent there. Cashman and Boone. We covered Cashman and Boone.
I just wanted to finish up on the Cashman and Boone thing, Rich.
Yeah,
I think Cashman was. He said the key to next year was to limit the strikeouts, and he also said that Boone did a great job and has a great relationship with the players. So hopefully, 2023 a better season for the Yankees. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see, and hopefully it's a better season for the Mets. Let's put this fucking baseball shit to bed, bro. I'm tired of talking about the Mets and the Yankees. I'm just getting upset. I'm getting more depressed. Whatever. Baseball season,
By next weekend, though, Judge could be a Met, though, Rich.
Listen, the Judge is a Met. I'll be very happy about that. And then you could have Nimmo. You could have whoever the fuck you want. If Judge is a Met. Listen, don't be surprised if that conversation happened was just here. I'm going to give you $100 million more than the next guy. wear blue and he looked weird in the blue and orange though, man. Fuck, I don't even want Judge. You know what? I'd rather have Stanton. Give me Stanton.
He's going to that dumpster fire that we call California.
Oh, jeez.
He is, dude.
You know,
I think he
some
is.
team in California. That's where he's going to end up.
Dodgers.
Yeah, where nobody's gonna hurt his feelings, and he gets. Oh God, I can't stand. You're right. He probably is gonna go to. You know what? And you're right, Kev. That is where good baseball players go to die. You got the best baseball. You have the best baseball player on the planet for the last 10 years, and listen, you know who he is, but Mike Trout would be a king. He's a diehard Philadelphia Phillies fan, so I'm only gonna bring him up just because that. If he was a
That's
Philly,
another guy that can't stay on the field, though, man.
Yeah, exactly. Always hurt, right?
Everybody's hurt. They always get hurt.
And
like DeGrom, man. Like DeGrom could be the best player, the best pitcher in baseball history if he could just stay on the field.
Yeah, it's always his back or his elbow. He had 2 Tommy John surgeries even before he came to when he had one when he was a shortstop in college, and he had one right before he came into the major league. So you think all that would be over. So I guess he's a mess.
Yeah, I heard Rich, I heard the Mets are hiring a team gynecologist next year for DeGrom.
Why? Because his pussy hurts?
Yeah, exactly.
All right, listen, enough about DeGrom, all right? Stop. You're going to hurt his feelings. And then he's going to leave, and then, him and Judge
or
go
yours?
to California and get married.
EDUBBS is not making DeGrom leave, Rich.
All right, dude. Let's get a little NFL talk here going. What do you think about that?
Let's go.
So let's do our picks from. You know what I want to know? I haven't checked in on what's going on with our picks. What's the
actually, Rich, you gained the game on me last week. You were 9-6. I was 8-7. So I am 63-45-1, and you were 55-53-1. So it looks like there's an 8-game swing between me and you right now. So plenty of time to catch up. What are we in week 9? So we got about 8 weeks left. So plenty of time to catch up. You do 1 game a week, Rich. I'll be sipping that cider at the end of the season.
I'm gonna catch you too, dude. I promise. I'm gonna catch you. So let's dive into a couple of things that's going on in the NFL that I kind of like pointed out.
Mm-hmm.
We're looking right now at a pretty even NFL. Except maybe the Bills are pretty much ahead of the pack right now, man. And my Jets are playing them this weekend. But if you look all around, really, like especially the AFC. Yep. I mean, there's nobody that's really running away with it, man. I mean, you even got teams like, I'm looking down the line here. The Titans are quietly 5-2. They won 5. The Titans won 5 games in a row, dude.
It's crazy.
I mean,
doesn't make any sense.
And you look in the NFC. You look at your teams. You look at Tampa Bay. I mean, Atlanta's in first place in that division at 4-4. There's a lot of, and then of course you got Philly. Philly, not only is Philly 8-0, but they've also scored the most points. Their offense has scored the most points in the NFL. Not only are they 8-0.
Yep, crazy, right? And they've only given up 135 points of defense. So they're a well-oiled machine, the Eagles, this year at 8-0. It's crazy.
What do you think's driving that? I mean, what do you think's driving that team? And do you think they're going to lose? I mean, I know this Jalen Hurts is he's just grounding the ball. He's running. He's passing. I mean, this guy does everything, dude. I mean, he's like a human highlight machine.
Yeah, I don't think the competition's been that great for the Eagles thus far. I think the schedule gets the schedule gets difficult as the season goes on. But Houston gave them some trouble last night. I didn't see the game. I was watching the World Series, but if you see the final score, it was like 29-17. So Houston was right there where people thought. And I played the Eagles defense on fantasy. I thought they're going to give me like 30 points on Houston, but yeah, no, Houston played a pretty good game last night. So the Eagles are vulnerable. Of course, the 72 Miami Dolphins are still waiting for that first loss so they can pop the champagne and stuff like that. But Eagles 8-0 with 9 games left. Tough division. A lot of good teams in that division, it seems.
I think they got to play the Giants twice still. I mean, I'm pretty sure they haven't played the Giants yet.
Yeah, I'm just calling up their schedule right now, Rich. I think they got to play I think they still have to play the Giants 2 times. Yeah, so they still got to play Washington next week. Then the Colts, then the Packers, so Tennessee, and then the Giants. So they play the Giants week 14, and they finish up with them in week 18. So yeah, so they got some I mean, I'm looking at the schedule right now, Rich. They can easily be 12, 13, 13-0, 14-0 heading into that Giants game. Crazy.
And the Giants, listen, but not for nothing. The Jets and the Giants both shit the bed last week. I mean, I don't, let's stay in that. Let's stay in the NFC. Let's stay in the NFC for now. Because you got your Tampa Bay Bucks here in the NFC.
And the
But
Bucks are really killing me, Rich. The Bucks have lost 3 games in a row. There's panic. We'll see what happens this week. The Rams are coming in, and the Rams beat the Bucks in the playoffs last year to get to the NFC Championship game. So there's no love lost, but something's got to happen fast with the Bucks, because you know what? Even though the Falcons are only in first place with a 4-4 record, the season seems like it's slipping away. So are we seeing regression from Brady? Is this the end? Is it just like, guys are injured? Is the offensive line not being healthy or not the same as last year? A lot of question marks with the Bucks. And I heard about this easy schedule coming up, but it doesn't seem too easy because they're not winning these games. We got the Rams this week, then they go to Germany next week to play Seattle. They get the bye, and then Cleveland. So hopefully they can win some of these games here to get back on track.
yeah, and that division is definitely still up for grabs. I mean, Atlanta. I mean, what? I killed them in the beginning of the year, and rightfully so. I mean, I didn't know what they were going to do, but they're slowly at 4-4. They're looking like a team that if they make the playoffs, you got. I mean, do they if they make the playoffs? Do they make a splash at 4-4? I don't know. I mean, maybe they're just a team growing. Tampa
Well,
Bay, like you said,
mhm.
Tampa Bay, like you said, with Tom Brady on the downturn. New Orleans, they were even talking about Alvin Kamara leaving New Orleans. I guess that he's still there, obviously. And then you got Carolina, who saw some kind of resurgence after they got rid of Mr. McCaffrey there. Not even a resurgence. They just looked like a different team last week. I don't know what the hell happened there, but what they just got rid of, like one of the best running backs in football, and all of a sudden, like they look like they look great last week.
So, Rich,
Carolina Panthers.
look at the NFC. First place teams: Seattle Seahawks, Atlanta Falcons, and to some extent the Minnesota Vikings. I mean, where are they? They're 6-1. It's crazy. They're right behind the Eagles as the best record in the NFC. Yeah, but Seattle and Atlanta, 2 first place teams. It's nuts.
Yeah. My now that we're week 8, we're going into week 9. I'm gonna have to say San Francisco, I think, is gonna start to pull ahead soon. I think San Francisco is, with their defense and McCaffrey learning the book. I mean, listen, he's still Christian McCaffrey. You know what I mean? He's not, which I found out this week, Ed McCaffrey's son, which I just found out this week. That's crazy. But I think that you're gonna see San Francisco start to pull away, as far, maybe not pull away, but I think you're gonna see them make a difference. I mean, the Rams at 3-4 don't look too they don't look too menacing. The Cardinals, Kyler Murray's a one-man show, but that's pretty much it they got in that division. I think you're gonna see San Francisco kind of pull away. I think and start to become the top of that division, and Seahawks gonna hang with them, but let's see how long Geno Smith could hang on to the throwing all those touchdown passes. I don't know what the hell happened to him. Maybe he's just become a product of a different coach. I don't know, but he's playing pretty well.
Yeah, and look at the Giants too. The Giants come back. They have the bye this week. They play Houston and then Detroit, 2 home games back to back. So the Giants, I mean, they're looking good too in the NFC East.
Yeah. I mean, look at what's what's funny. You said something. You said Detroit in the beginning of the season. Now,
Yeah.
listen, I'm in no way, shape, or form gonna say like you made a. They're scoring points, dude. I mean, they're 1-6.
Yep.
But their offense is scoring too. I mean, the 1-6 record, yeah, it's bad, but they are scoring points. So I mean,
what they do, Rich, and I've been watching the Lions game. So what they do is they play offense, they score, and then when the defense comes on, they don't put anybody on the field. So the other team has they're playing like 11-0. So that's why they're giving up so many points. So it's whoever has the ball at the end of the game is going to be the winner. Usually, they're just horrible on defense. Horrible.
Yeah.
And DeAndre Swift was out a little bit. He was injured and stuff, so he's back. But they just traded Hawkinson to the Vikings. And that was a weird trade, Rich. You don't see teams doing that in the division. That would be like the Mets trading DeGrom to the Phillies during the season or something like that. You don't see that too much, right? It's crazy.
No, not at all. I mean, especially in football, when a player would make that much of an impact. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. It's nuts. And Minnesota, they're going to pull away now because that's what they needed. They have Irv Smith, but they get a top guy like Hawkinson now. So, Kirk Cousins, if he keeps playing those 1 o'clock Sunday games, they might go 17-1, or 16-1, the Vikings. We'll see.
Dude, that Justin Jefferson is just he is incredible.
Oh, crazy! And they have the running backs, Cook, and they have a good team, Minnesota. Just many years of losing Super Bowls. They have the 4 losses like Buffalo, and they haven't been back for a while. But this might be their year. Who knows?
Yeah, so I guess right. So right now, just looking at these divisions, I guess you got Philly. I think San Francisco is going to take the West. Minnesota seems to have a pretty good hand on the North there. And between Atlanta, Tampa Bay, New Orleans, like somebody's gonna eat each other to death in that division. So unfortunately, I think Tom Brady is going to be on the bottom of of that stack because I don't know, Eric. And listen, I'm not again. I I love Tom Brady, dude.
Yep.
He's looking old, man. He's just looking like a guy. I don't know. He's
It looks like he's
AJ,
fragile.
you're 100% right, dude. They do need Warren Moon. They need Warren Moon to come out of retirement right now and throw the football for them. You're
Oh,
right, AJ. AJ,
no,
that's my boy AJ in Thailand.
oh wow, what time is it in Thailand right now?
I think I was
Hours
talking
ahead
to
of
him the
us.
other day. He said he's on his way to work, I think, around this time.
Oh, geez, like Saturday afternoon. It's lunchtime, right? Oh, 9:35. Okay,
Yeah.
not too
It's
bad. Yeah.
9:35 a.m. He's probably on his way to work. That is my boy right there. AJ, I love you, kiddo. I'll see you soon.
That's
My boy.
great. That's great. I was saying, Rich, what were we talking about? We were talking about football and stuff, and about Tampa and stuff. So yeah, the receivers are dropping passes. I see Mike Evans dropped a couple of balls, and it looks like whenever Brady gets sacked, he looks frazzled and stuff. It's just not something's not right. And I'm saying it could be the offensive line, but at the end of the day, Rich, you know what it is? It's Gronk. There's no Gronk.
He needs Gronk. He needs Gronk to come back. You're right. Exactly. Start smashing beers on his head.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. You're 100% right. He needs his boy Gronk back.
Rich,
He's
I'm going to go
hanging
on
with him anyway. I
FanDuel.
mean, I'd have
I
to
am
choose.
going on FanDuel. I'm going to put some shekels on the Buccaneers. You know what? I did that 1 year, and I won a couple of $100 before Brady came. I'm going to do that after this show, Rich. I'm going to get those odds, and I'm going to be sitting pretty come February, because the Buccaneers are going to win the Super Bowl. Gronk will be back week 10. You heard it here.
Okay, I hope can Gronk play offensive line and quarterback. He
Oh,
probably
shit.
good. No, talking about the offensive line though. I mean, I'm very surprised at Philly's offensive line. I think that's another reason why Philly's playing so well. Their offensive line is just ridiculous this year.
Well, they got
Ridiculous.
Kelsey's brother on the offensive line, right? He's a monster, that guy.
Yeah.
Crazy, unbelievable.
All right, so let's head on over to the AFC now. The
Yes,
AFC,
sir. Mhm.
which contains my New York Jets. All right, now my New York Jets are sitting at 5-3 right now. 5-3. I didn't listen. If I told you they were going to be 5-3 at this point, would I say yes? No. But I'm happy they're 5-3. They got a lot of young guys on. They got a lot of young players. And like I don't know if you saw my my Instagram reel the other day talking about I was babbling something about rookies and stuff. But 5 weeks in a row where a Jet player got the Rookie of the Week award, and most recently you got Garrett Wilson, who just got that award with 6 catches at 115 yards. I think Zach Wilson might have thrown for like 116 yards that week because he sucked on Sunday. He looked like two of those interceptions that he threw. Well, I don't know where the fuck he was throwing the football. He was, he was literally throwing it to the other team. But there was some shining moments. Like Garrett Wilson. Garrett Wilson's actually starting this weekend for Corey Davis again, who I don't know, guys. He hurt his knee. I think you told me that, right? He's got a knee injury or something.
Yeah, he's out. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's I don't know. Like I said, the Jets this weekend. If the Jets could beat the Buffalo Bills this weekend, all us Jet fans are gonna have hard-ons again. It's gonna be, the Jets are gonna win the Super Bowl. The Jets will beat the Bills. Blah blah blah. I think the Jets are gonna beat the Bills this weekend. To be honest with you, I think it's gonna be one of those games.
Wow.
But
The Bills only gave up 98 points, Rich. Only 98 points given up for that Buffalo defense.
That's the thing. They have to do something, man. They have to. And I think a win against the, you know what? Listen, why can't Quentin Williams get in Josh Allen's face? Why can't Sauce Gardner cover what's his name over there? What's his Diggs? Sauce Gardner is going to cover Diggs, right? I mean, I
Yeah.
would assume so, right?
I think so, right? But then you have Davis, so you got a couple of weapons, and don't forget the Bills have Naheem Hines now. He got traded over to Buffalo, believe it or not.
Yes, I know. Listen, as much as I loved, listen. I think I really, really do in my heart think that the Jets are gonna upset the Bills this weekend because the Bills have shown. Listen, the Bills have shown that they're not unstoppable. I mean, the Chiefs rode with them for a little bit, for a little while. They won it in the last couple of minutes. Their one loss is to the Patriots, right?
Yep,
I'm
I think so.
pretty
Yeah, I
sure it's the
believe so.
Patriots.
I believe so.
But so that just goes to show that they're not unstoppable, and to win a game in their division would be a huge win for the New York Jets this weekend. I mean,
Yep.
the defense is playing well, but I don't know what I'm gonna do as a Jet
Oh, they
fan
lost
if
to the
Zach.
Dolphins, Rich. The Bills lost to the Dolphins. That was their
Oh,
loss.
okay, I thought it was the Patriots. Okay, all
Yeah,
right,
it
well,
was in Miami
Dolphins.
though. Give them the benefit of the doubt. It was
All
hot.
right,
It was
divisional
humid.
game anyway. Like I literally I don't know what I'm gonna do if Zach Wilson doesn't show any kind of promise because with Brees Hall going down, I didn't think Brees Hall was going to make as much as an impact as he did as a rookie coming onto this Jets football team, but he was Zach Wilson's kind of like, and even what's his name, Flacco's for that matter, in the beginning of the season, kind of like, all right, I'm in trouble. Here you go,
Yep.
Brees, do your magic.
Yep.
I mean, he had a 60-yard touchdown run against the best defense in football 2 weeks ago when he got hurt against the Broncos. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, he looks like he's just playing at another level. So Zach Wilson doesn't have that. I'm going to hand it off to this guy now because I'm in trouble. You know what I mean? So Zach Wilson has to be a fucking quarterback now, dude.
Yep. Yep.
So, and maybe he's got to use Elijah Moore, as the slot guy. Maybe he does have to use. Everybody's used to like Elijah Moore saying, "Give me the damn ball," like Keyshawn back then. But you know what? Give him the damn ball a couple of times, maybe across the middle. Maybe he will be a slot guy. They had a good relationship last year. He was catching some balls. Then you got Garrett Wilson. I mean, Garrett Wilson is becoming a very, very exciting wide receiver to watch. I mean, Michael Carter is going to get some carries. I mean, their offensive line,
What about
little
James
suspect.
Robinson, Rich? You think who's going to be the feature back, or is it going to be like a shared thing going on?
What I think the Jets need to do this week is I think that they need to feature James Robinson because James Robinson is a young kid. He had 1,000 yards rushing, I think, in 2020. I mean, he's supposed to be that guy that's supposed to be that guy. James Robinson. Like he was on the Jags. Like I said before, I think it was 2020. He had 1,000 yards, but I think they're gonna have to feature him. I think because they're gonna have to see what he's got. I mean, Michael Carter, we know what Michael Carter's got. But we're going to have to see if James Robinson can give us 20 carries, 22 carries, maybe, throughout a game, because God forbid, maybe he will break out. Maybe he will mesh with this Jets offense. But I think James Robinson's going to have to be the featured back. You're going to have to throw Michael Carter in. And listen, if James Robinson, gets smashed or he gets his ass kicked, it's the offensive line,
Yep.
because he is a good runner.
Exactly.
So let's see. But they're gonna have to run the football a lot if they're gonna want to beat the Bills. They're gonna have to because if they want to get their wide receivers to get broken loose from their cornerbacks and stuff, you're gonna have to start having them keying on the run and then dink and dunk maybe to Elijah Moore, maybe hit Garrett Wilson for a big one. I don't know. The Jets are gonna. I think the Jets are gonna win this weekend.
So they
They're gonna beat the Bills.
they go ground and pound, Rich. They do a time, take the time of possession, maybe hold the ball for 40 minutes or something like that. Sorry, that's my computer going off. I'm on the NFL website and there's a commercial. Yeah, so maybe they do the ground and pound and stuff like that. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, I think they're gonna have to do that. The whole offense is gonna have to be working on the whole as the Jets.
Yep.
And the defense. The defense is gonna have to come up big. They are gonna have to be in Josh Allen's face. And what's crazy about Josh Allen is he's unflappable, bro. Like he can have people chasing him all over the place, and he'll just make that big he'll just make that big play. That's the exact opposite of what's going on with this poor kid in Cincinnati, dude.
Oh, jeez.
I mean, dude, listen, he's a good quarterback too, but the Cincinnati Bengals, that offensive line is horrendous, dude.
They were supposed to be
He's been sacked
they were supposed to be
29
revamped.
times this year.
Yeah, the well-improved Cincinnati Bengals offensive line. Where are they? They didn't show up this year, it looks like, right? Crazy.
They have been he's been sacked 29 times, dude.
Unreal.
I mean, and this is a kid that's throwing the ball all over the place. I mean, he threw for almost 500 yards last week. I mean, I don't know. I mean, he's definitely a good football player. But his offensive line is killing him. And he's getting the exact like you're saying about Josh Allen. Josh Allen's making the plays. Like he's got people in his face sometimes, but he's making the plays.
It's
You know,
crazy. It's all about the games are won on the line, Rich. It's just unbelievable. Yeah, and when I saw going into the season, the Bengals, yeah, the offensive line's gonna be great, but obviously not.
Yeah. I mean, you got you talk about teams that have good offensive lines. I mean, it's the Bills got a good offensive line. Even Miami's got a decent offensive line.
Yeah,
You know,
and they had this kid Alex Kappa, and Alex Kappa was protecting Brady the past 2 years. 6'6", 310. He goes to Cincinnati, and hey, he's going to protect Burrows, but I guess not.
yeah.
Crazy,
I mean, listen,
crazy.
it also hurts the Cincinnati Bengals that Jamar Chase is going to be out for a couple of weeks because he's
That's
an
going to
exciting
be
wide receiver.
that's a biggie. That's a biggie. Yes, yeah,
Yeah,
that's going to be a biggie. Yep, yep. But
yeah.
they're still, they're still in that division. They're with Baltimore and stuff. No one's running away with it and stuff. So there's plenty of time. I don't know. Is Chase coming back, Rich? I didn't hear or is he out for the season? I didn't hear the prognosis on him.
I think they said he's coming back in a couple of weeks. I
Okay.
think he'll be back by the end of the season. But the Bengals might well be out of it by then. How are the Titans winning all these games? That's what I want to know. How are the Titans winning all these football games? Derrick
It's
Henry?
funny. The Titans are winning games. Their point differentials in the negative, and they're also 12.5 point underdogs this week. So what first place team is ever a double digit underdog, right? I mean, they're going to Kansas City, of course, but it's crazy. I don't know how they're doing it. The division sucks. It's a horrible division.
I mean,
There's
it's
yeah.
horrendous. So I mean, looking at the AFC, I mean, you obviously got the Bills. Bills are 6-1. You got the Bills. They're kind of running away. You got the Chiefs, and on the opposite end of the spectrum here too is you got a team in the Los Angeles Chargers. Now, I thought that they were going to get rid of Cam Akers. I thought Cam Akers was gone. He's got to become a part of this offense, I guess. If they didn't get rid of him, right? He's got to do something. He's got to become a part of this offense.
You mean
I
the
mean,
Rams, Rich? Right? The Rams. You said the Amp Acres on the Rams.
oh, yeah, I'm sorry. What's his name from what's his name? From San Diego. I'm sorry.
Oh,
Eckler.
Eckler. Yeah, 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 yeah.
There you go. I
Yep.
mean, he's got to get involved somehow. I mean,
Well, you know what?
he has a good.
I
Go
read
ahead.
about Eckler, Rich, and he was the bell cow last year. He had so many attempts, so they were trying to limit his attempts this year. But how old is the guy? The guy's in his 20s. That's what these teams do. I mean, the guy's a running back. How many years does a running back play? 4, 5, 6 years tops. I mean, let the guy carry the ball 300 times a year if that's what's going to get you to win. Once
You
again,
brought
Rich, analytics. Once again, we're
yeah.
back to analytics.
You just
Crazy.
brought up a fantastic point about that. Like, why are you limiting his carries when the shelf life of running back now is about 5 years? You're gonna get 5 years out of a good running back. Hand him the ball. And you know what's great? What's great? The disparity. What I was just gonna say to you too is like, while Joe Burrow's being sacked 29 times, Justin Herbert's been sacked 10 times this year.
Yep, yep. That's
10
what goes
by
to
his
show.
offensive
Yeah,
line.
yeah. Exactly, exactly. Huh.
And look, at 4-3, they're still hanging with the Chiefs. And I
Yeah, they're
still,
still hanging there, still hanging.
they're hanging in there, and can they beat the Chiefs if it came down to it? I don't know. I mean, again, I did again pick them to go to the Super Bowl this year, and I don't know how that's looking, but that's a team there that that they're sack. That, Herbert's getting his sacks set down to a minimum, and Eckler's got to get involved. Losing Keenan Allen was big for them. Their defense is a little suspect. They give up some crazy plays. I think what's his name's out, right? Oh no, which Bosa's out? Bosa for the 49ers or Bosa for
Yeah,
the
the 49ers, Bosa.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
All right, dude. Let's see here. Now, let's take care of our picks.
okay, yeah, good, good. Yeah, we're running on 2 hours, so we usually wrap up with the picks and stuff. And I got last night wrong. I had Philadelphia last night. They were 14-point favorites, and I really thought they were going to just blow out Houston, but I lost that game.
I lost that game too because I was taking Philly no matter how many points. Philly could have been favored by 25 last night, and I would have still picked Philly last night.
So
So I got that one wrong.
it's really weird this week, Rich. There's 5 teams, 5 home teams. Only five, I should say, only 5 home teams are favorite. The rest are all the road teams. So one of the home teams' favorite are the Patriots. They're 5.5 points over Indianapolis. I took the Patriots.
I'm taking Indy. I took Indy this week.
Okay.
Taking Indianapolis with the 5. Was it? It's 5.5 on yours.
It's 5.5. Yeah, I looked at FanDuel. I couldn't get into DraftKings. I must have lost my password. I haven't used
That's
DraftKings
fine.
in a
Yeah, I
while.
got DraftKings. I got DraftKings. It's relatively the same. Yep, I am taking the Indianapolis Colts there, dude.
Okay, so we've seen this before. Double digit Buffalo 11.5 over the Jets, and I got burned. But you know what though? I'm taking the Jets this week, Rich, plus 11.5. I just think it's too many points for a road team. I think the Bills will win, but I think the Jets will cover.
I am taking the Jets to win the game. Not only cover, but to win the
Woo!
goddamn football game.
Wow. Then we have Dolphins are 4.5 point favorites. Second week in a row at an NFC North team. Last week against the Lions. This week against the Bears. 4.5 point favorites. I'm going to take the Bears this week at plus 4.5. I think the Dolphins win by a field goal.
See, I'm taking the Dolphins, man. I just think the Bears are, they're iffy. I think the Dolphins. I think the defense is going to keep Mr. Fields there on the run. I'm taking the Dolphins -4. Taking the Dolphins.
Okay, and then we have another road game. Green Bay Packers going to Detroit. Green Bay's been struggling. They're 3.5 point favorites, though, as road favorites going to Ford Field. I think this is the week the Lions get it done. I'm taking the Lions plus 3.5.
I can't bet against Aaron Rodgers in a division game. With the Detroit Lions, I can't. I'm taking the Packers. I'm taking the Packers -3.5.
Okay, there we go. Then we have another game. Kevin might be interested in this one. Minnesota hosting. I'm sorry, Minnesota going to Washington as a 3 point favorite. And you know what? I think this Vikings team is for real, and the Vikings get it done again. Vikings -3.
I think this is going to be. I think this is going to be. They're going to trip them up. I think the Commanders are going to win this weekend. I think that. I think there's a lot of crazy shit going on over there in Washington. I think that these guys gonna just turn a blind eye and just stop playing football. I think. I'm taking the Commanders.
Okay. Then we have Bengals hosting the Panthers, and I think Joe Burrow will be okay with this Carolina defense. I don't think he'll be sacked too many times. I'm
Oh
taking
my God.
Cincinnati -7.
This is great because like I said, I'm taking the Panthers. Like I said, this is
Wow.
great. Like I
Go.
said, I have a couple against you. I'm taking the Panthers +7.5.
Okay, and another road team,
Hey,
the
Shannon, you can
Chargers.
say hello.
What's that, Rich? What's
Shannon's
that?
my wife's sneaking in to get a water, so she can
Oh,
say hello.
okay. That's allowed. Yeah. Hey,
Nice
Shannon, how
guy.
you doing? Okay, then we have the Chargers going to Atlanta, 3 point favorites. I'm taking the Falcons in the upset. Atlanta +3.
No, I'm taking the Chargers, dude. Sorry, taking them. I gotta. I have to.
You're
Taking the
really gonna make
Chargers.
up one. Either you make up ground this week, Rich, or you go back deeper in the hole. I guess, right?
No, like this is this is weird because like this really isn't even like I'm going against you on purpose here.
No,
Like I'm looking at it, like
these games are pretty close, and since a lot of the
they
road
are,
teams are
man.
favorites, it's crazy this week. We have the
Yeah.
Raiders staying down in the south. They played New Orleans last week. They got shut out, and this week they're going to try Jacksonville. They're 2.5 point favorites, the Raiders, but I'm taking the Jaguars +2.5.
I'm taking the Jaguars there too, man. The Raiders suck, dude. They're horrible, and Jacksonville's not that much better, but I just think that they have enough to beat the Raiders.
Yep.
Jacksonville.
Okay. There we go. Perfect. Then we have Arizona hosting Seattle. 1.5 point favorite Cardinals. I'm taking the Cardinals 1.5. I just don't see the Seattle team being that good, but they're doing it anyhow. Crazy.
I don't either. I'm taking the Cardinals. I don't either. They're doing it somehow, but they're bound. Geno Smith's bound to become Geno Smith at some point. So I'm taking the Cardinals.
And the late show, not the late show, the 4:25 game. I think it's on in this neck of the woods. If not, I'll be using my DirecTV. But Tampa Bay, Tom Brady, gonna get it done this week. 3 point favorites. I know I keep picking you, Tom. You got to do it for me. We share the same birthday. You're my boy. Let's get it done. Tampa Bay -3 over the Rams.
No way. No way. The Rams are gonna win this game, man. I just
Woo.
know. Tom, I'm sorry, Tom. Mr. Brady, Tom, I'm sorry, but you're gonna lose this football game, man. You looked lost. You looked gray-haired. You looked a mess last week. The Rams are gonna win this football game, man. I just think they are, and I'm taking the 3 points.
Okay, then we have a clash of the first place teams, which we spoke about before. Kansas City, 12.5 point favorites over Tennessee. I'm going to take the Pat Mahomes machine. They're coming off the bye week. Chiefs -12.5 at home.
Yeah, I'm taking the Chiefs too. I'm taking the Chiefs. The Tennessee Titans, like we said before, 5 in a row, and who are they? Whatever. The Kansas City Chiefs. Mahomes is gonna have a field day, I think.
Yep. Okay, and last but not least, the Monday night game, and it's another ho hum game. Baltimore going to New Orleans. I don't know who schedules these games, but I guess you can't really determine how these teams are going to do when you do the schedule back in April. But Baltimore is -2.5 over New Orleans. I'm going to take the Saints in an upset. Saints +2.5.
I got the Saints. I got the Saints at home too. I think they're gonna. I think they're gonna beat Baltimore. I got the Saints plus 2.5 myself. They're gonna beat Baltimore.
Okay, great. So we have that. We'll see how we do next week on that. So, Rich, remember, you're at a barbecue or something like that. What's your favorite game to play usually? What do you like to play when you're outside in the summertime?
I like to sit in my pool, actually, watch everybody play. But cornhole is a pretty big. Is a pretty. I play cornhole in my backyard. That's one of
Okay,
my
so
favorites.
yeah, it's a great game to play. I mean, did you know there's a professional cornhole league, Rich?
So, get out of here! No,
Yeah,
I didn't know this.
yeah. So there's like over 100,000 professionals. They go to these, they do like these weekly tournaments and stuff. They go around the country and stuff, and they can earn between five and $250,000 a year. So it's not like being in the NBA or NFL, but there is a professional cornhole league. And we heard of Watergate, Deflategate. Well, this week there's another scandal coming out. It's called Baggate. And let me tell you what is real fast. Yeah, these guys they're using illegal bean bags. There is a rule where the bean bag has to be 6 by 6, 16 ounces weight. But these guys are using smaller bean bags. They're boiling them. They're washing them with vinegar to make them more flexible. So you know what? It's kind of like the old spider tack in baseball with the movement. These guys are really doing their due diligence how to cheat in cornhole. You believe that?
Oh my God, get out of here! What's the? What do you win?
Oh, you win money. You get sponsorships. You win money. So a lot of sponsors give you money too and stuff to these guys. But yeah. So everyone's trying to take advantage, and it's even gone down to the cornhole league now. It's unbelievable, right? I could see people bringing their own beanbags to barbecues now across the country, and the
Who
host
who is
measuring the beanbags when they get to the house.
who is the president of the International Cornhole Association?
I,
What does he get to
I,
hang out on the beach? Sounds
Howdy
like a good
Doody?
job. You get
Who
to
is
hang out
it?
on the
Howdy
beach all day
Doody?
or something?
I don't even know this guy, but I would love that job. Wouldn't you like to be the cornhole commissioner, Rich?
Yeah, yeah, I was. Yes,
You
I
know,
would love to be the
it's
cornhole commissioner.
it's a
Have
less
you ever
stressful
played
job
corn?
than Adam Silver's having, I guess, right?
Oh my God, yeah. Fuck him. He's what do you call? He's had an easy job. He could have made it. He could have made a good decision a couple of weeks ago. Now he's going to get all the phone calls. Now his job becomes hard. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
exactly. But yeah, the cornhole the cornhole scandal, Baggate is going on right now, and yeah, we haven't seen the end of this, so I'll be updating you on that as the weeks progress and stuff. But I want to institute one more thing, Rich, before we go off the air. I want to give my
Sure,
weather
sure.
reports now and stuff because
Yes, we have a couple of seconds here. Let me give you let me give you the proper introduction because
Oh,
this is
thank you,
something that me
sir.
and
Thank
you
you. I appreciate
give
it.
you the proper introduction because I know through Facebook through the years and all these accounts you always give your EDUBBS weather, and I don't know your source, where you get your weather reports from, but there's 9.5 times out of 10 I trust you over any of these idiots I see on the what do you call it, the TV. So
Like Sam
let's
Champion.
tell me what it's going to be like. And now, you know what? As a matter of fact, I want to know tomorrow. I'm going to be I'm going to be leaving town tomorrow.
Okay.
With my wife and my sons. We are going up to Cortland University tomorrow.
Nice.
Now, my son Aiden, as you know, is thinking of transferring to one school or the other. It's
Hmm.
down to two schools. He wants to go to Manhattan College or he
Okay.
wants to go to Cortland University.
Okay. Good.
Now, I'd like him to go to Cortland simply because Cortland is less expensive. We all know that. But
Yes, exactly.
tomorrow is the big football game. Now, we have good friends of ours that their son plays as a senior there, and tomorrow is senior day.
Okay.
And we're going up there to SUNY Cortland, and we're going to watch the foot. They're 8-0, and they're playing against I forgot what team, but I think that they won the championship, the Empire 8 division for Division 3. So they have a really good football program up there. So I want to get both of my kids up there to see, it's Division 3, but what a good college football game, Division 3 looks like in a college campus. And maybe it'll actually entice my son Jack into maybe wanting to go upstate to college. I know he's only a sophomore yet, but we are leaving tomorrow. And what is going to be the weather for our football game tomorrow?
Hey, so tomorrow in Cortland, I mean, I give you guys the weather from down here. It's a little bit, farther north. So, this time of year, you don't get that radiant sunlight and heat from the sun. But tomorrow you will hit 70 degrees in Cortland, Rich, for the game. It's an afternoon game, I gather, right?
Yep, it is 1 o'clock.
Okay, great. So you will be at 70 degrees at 1 o'clock. Hopefully you're sitting on the sunny side of the field, or I guess in these stadiums there's no upper deck, so it's probably like all sunny and stuff like that. But it will be a very nice day. It will be a little windy though, Rich. A little windy. But hold on to your hat. Don't wear it backwards and stuff. But for you guys in Dutchess County, yeah. So we're gonna look at a great weekend. Tomorrow's gonna be 75 degrees. You're gonna have a little fog in the morning. Rich, be prepared to be in a foggy. I don't know what time you're going up to Cortland. It's gonna be very foggy in the morning. So just put your lights on and stuff, and you'll be okay. So yeah, tomorrow's gonna be breezy, 74. Sunday is gonna be warm again, around 75, and returning on Monday with 75 for the work week. So we're looking good, and then it goes all downhill from there. Rich, cold back into the 50s, which is normal this time of year, and we're looking at something for next weekend in the form of rain. I don't see any snow in the forecast anytime soon. I know snow in November is common. October is even common in a couple of years ago, but nothing on the radar for snow yet. So kids wanting your delayed openings, no, get your asses to school. And that is the weather for this week. You might have some rain on Friday, so just be a little keen on Friday. But you know what? Nobody goes out on Friday anyhow because they're listening to MURF and EDUBBS. So that's my weather.
Exactly. So I always like the EDUBBS weather report. I tried to trip you up a little bit there, but you were pretty resilient. I tried to throw the Cortland weather in there to you, so.
Yeah, you know what though, Rich? It comes in November, but you know what? Once summertime comes, I don't give a shit. Just get out there and enjoy. So, but now I have to tell people whether they should go to work or stay home from school. So, or stay home from work. So it's my due diligence I do. So hopefully everyone enjoy tomorrow. Wear your sunscreen. Go in the pool, and Tuesday bring out the winter coats again. So.
Hey, listen, again, we were talking the other day that we have to get on here. We got to get on here we got to get on here twice a week. People want to hear us.
No doubt.
I know you said you're slowing down with work and everything, so I think we got to try and get something on the, we got to try and get something on the calendar where we're doing this twice a week. But you know what though, the Friday thing, it's working. This is it. This is our slot, dude. Friday, 9 p.m. This is gonna be our slot, and we're gonna have to try and figure something else out. As the I got a lot. I know you've been writing down. I know there's going to be a little bit of a slowdown, coming up with the sports and stuff like that. But I got a bunch of stuff written down, and I'm sure you did too. About we are definitely going to keep you guys busy with content in this, even in the slow months with the MURF and EDUBBS show. So keep tuning in, even when there's no baseball, football. We are definitely going to have some interesting stuff to talk about.
Yeah, we're not at a loss for words, Rich. That's for sure.
Absolutely. All righty. Looks like 2 hours. We did another successful MURF and EDUBBS show, episode 14. Man, thanks a lot.
Yeah, thanks to the listeners too, and for Kevin for calling in, and whoever wants to call in, just pop in. We'll gladly take your calls.
All right, and if you guys are listening, just let everybody know that as soon as we hang up with this live broadcast here, I will be putting this out as a podcast, so it will be on all our podcast platforms. We're actually on Podchaser now. If anybody knows what Podchaser is, we're on Podchaser now. So start spreading the word, guys. And I like the call-ins. We had Cousin Joe. We had Kevin. We want more people to call in, guys. So, and also keep telling everybody about us, because I keep telling you, we got a good thing going here. And it's so much fun doing this with you, brother. 14 episodes. Can't wait for number 15, brother.
Yep, 15 coming up next week, Rich. And like I said, let's pop on during the week, do a half hour or whatever, just something, get some content out there and stuff.
All right. You know what? I will give you a call, and we'll have a production meeting on Sunday when I get back from Cortland. How's that sound?
Sounds good. Safe travels, my friend. Enjoy.
All right, brother. And that's the MURF and EDUBBS show, and we are out of here. Later, guys.
Peace out, everyone. Take care.